evening, Westeros, and welcome to After the Fyre, the internet's #1 chat show about all things After the Fyre. I'm with my lovely friends here today, Miss Amelia Tyler.
Oh, hello.
And Mr. Hotflex Tom.
Oh, hello.
Oh, are we doing accents today?
I don't know, apparently.
I just went with it. I
time.
thought that was the vibe, and I just went with it.
Roger that. Okay, all right. So for those in chat, Millie plays the lovely Lady Faye Rowan, and Tom plays the piratical scoundrel Enzo Sal. Oh.
Not that you're taking sides.
No, never take sides, Millie.
Everyone likes Enzo. Not a single person says they dislike Enzo.
I know Mary thought he was a bit of a dickhead in the latest episode, but we will get to that later. Fades off. Wimps.
Hey.
Yes, Sam, you know what's up.
Hey, you can think someone's being a bit of a dickhead, but you can still like them.
Yeah, I mean that again. My whole point when we get to that episode later on, there are people acting like dickheads, but I still like them.
Yeah.
Taking sides against the family. All right, Pope. All right. I see you. I fucking see you. Enzo isn't family. I would just like to put that out there.
It's okay.
He's made it known he's not fucking family. The first sign of adversity, he's like, bye, Greenmont. I'm out. Fucking dabs on his way out with his little Nikes. Anyway.
Oh, they'd be really flamboyant Nikes, though,
They
right?
would. They'd be like a bright, luminescent color, wouldn't they? You know?
Yeah.
And they
Gold.
squeak every
Gold,
time you walk
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Either they're bright gold or the tick is like actual gold. And these trainers cost like 20 grand.
Yeah.
Never wears them
100%.
outside. And if anyone like goes near him, he's like,
Get the fuck away from my shoe.
do you know how much these cost?
Yeah. And it's like one of those things, like old fashioned, like where the gentleman would take off his coat and lay it in a puddle so the woman's lady. It'd be the other way around. Enzo would throw the lady down so he could step over her. So
Faye's lovely white dress, just fucking brown now, but the trainers.
Yeah.
Anyway. Welcome to After the Fyre, friends. We're here talking about season 6, which is the most latest and the most final season of After the Fyre. Sorry, Sam. We know it's the final season.
Final.
Yeah, so okay. I love how Sam just doesn't even fight anymore. It's just okay. Fine. All right. Whatever. Season 6 began a couple of weeks ago now, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And we just had the 4th episode. And it was the real kicking off of Blackfyre 2 Electric Boogaloo. Oh, I can't use that joke anymore. The second Blackfyre Rebellion, which, for folks who don't know, was the arrival of Daemon II Targaryen across the sea with Lord Bittersteel and company to dethrone the Targaryens and put King Daemon II on the throne. Yeah, I'm calling him King Daemon II. Don't fucking at me, Blackfyre for life. So episode 1 began with one of Sam's famous prologues. And this one, I think this one was one of the best we've had this whole show. This one was a long time coming, and there was no like, previously we were always kind of like, ooh, who is this? What's going on? Like, where does this fit in? We all knew, I think, pretty much from the moment go who this was and what this meant. This was the reveal of Lord Alistair Oakheart, Mara's now ex-husband, in the Black Cells, or what was left of him, after his 5-year internment in the Black Cells at King's Landing. Turns out that extreme isolation does bad things to a brain.
Who knew?
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
So we see Lord Alistair in quite a pitiful position as he has basically become a rat in his cell, with no food, really, no water, no nothing. And he is brought out of his cell and brought before the king. by Prince Baelor Breakspear, dreamy boy who I never tragically got to bang as Allegra Dorsey, but
Hey,
who knows? What?
you never know.
Never know. What a turn for Miria if she's like, sorry, Blackfyre. Baelor, hey.
Just, hey, the heart wants what it wants.
Who are
No.
we? Who are we to come between?
Gone already.
I'm done. Okay, that's it. Show over. But no, we saw Prince Baelor Breakspear bring out Lord Alistair before the king and proclaim to him that his lord father had died and that he had become the Lord Oakheart, and thus his prison sentence was ended, as he was either going to serve 10 years in the cells or until his father died. And Alistair is like, oh no, my dad's dead. I gotta be a person again. And it was basically like but you're gonna be one of us, aren't you? To Alistair.
I mean, I think at this point it should be said that mentally Alistair just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't live there
He is-
anymore.
No.
Surely.
Yeah, his mental state is, shall we say, not there. I mean, he basically calls himself something completely different. He got the Theon Greyjoy kind of
Yeah.
treatment there. So I don't even know if he knows what the hell is going on. Like, he's just basically the Targaryens went, your house follows us, doesn't it? And he's like, okay. And you're going to get your army and fight with us? Yeah, sure. No idea what's going on. Not
Yeah.
a clue. He's that far gone.
Thank God for Sir Gawain.
I
That's
know.
all I'll say. The goodest boy. The goodest boy.
Honestly,
I've got a
I
real
don't
soft
have
spot.
I don't have beef with Gwaine. He's an old timey knight. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
who he be. Like, those men exist in Westeros, and he's trying his best for his family. Just unfortunately, they fucking married a viper into the family. They didn't know that at the time. Not biased.
I get the
And-
feeling that this episode is going to have opinions.
If there's anything about After the Fire, it's completely and totally biased depending on what character you play. There's no in the middle or anything like that. You're one side or the not, and yeah.
You can,
you're not
Tom,
gonna
we
get
are
a-
impartial. We
No, we're
are
not.
honest and fair in our critiques of characters. When I will try that one day without laughing. Anyway, so Lord Alistair is released from the old prison. Wow, Sam's coming for you in chat, Tom. Do you see that?
Why?
Oh,
Sam, what the fuck?
spicy talk.
I haven't
I
done
like
anything.
it. I like it when it's not directed at me.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's
It's
honestly
fair.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
I
I'm so-
agree.
I am getting shit for just trying to stay alive. Imagine that. Imagine that. For just trying to live, I'm getting shade and shit thrown at me.
Mhm.
Well, you
Can't
should
wait.
be like every other man in Westeros and die for no reason.
Apparently so. Apparently, I should just give up my life willy-nilly for no apparent reason and die honorably.
You've done that once, though, in fairness.
Yeah.
I've
You
already
know?
done
Yeah,
that
played out
once.
that
I don't
storyline.
want to do it again. I like
We've been there.
being there, got the t-shirt.
Yep.
It sucks.
Okay, so after that, I believe we cut to who was up first in the first episode? Was it? It was you, Millie, as Faye.
Was it?
Yep.
What was I doing? Remind me. I can't remember what happened today.
At Horn Hill. We get to see you as you are as a prisoner of the Tarleys. I put in quotes. You
Oh, I
absolutely are a
remember now.
prisoner.
Yeah, it was
100%
the
prisoner.
traumatic apple burying scene. Right?
Yes, it was. It was the apple scene.
Yeah.
Do you want to chat to tell folks like what the significance of the apple scene is?
Well, basically the story of House Rowan is that it was founded by a woman who was heartbroken that her lover had left her for a rich rival, and so cut off a lock of her golden hair and wrapped it around an apple and planted it in the ground, and this tree sprung up, and that was how Rowan Gold Tree, I think she was called, how House Rowan was founded. So there are lots of very sort of romantic-y, empowerment, Jaego women kind of undertones for that in the house. But Faye herself, I think the burial of that meant a lot of different things. And I think after the last episode, we get even more of a look into why that was significant. But we'll come to that later.
Matters of the heart are a tricky thing, aren't they, Millie?
But aren't they? Aren't they just?
So we get to see what it's kind of like at Horn Hill, though, with these prisoners. And it's like a courtly atmosphere, but it's kind of weird too. Like no one's quite
like
relaxed as they would at court, you know?
It's like a really aggressive Butlins.
Yeah.
Like nobody's having a good time, but they're trying to pretend that they're having a good time.
No one out of the UK will know what that is or what we mean by that.
Don't
but
care.
you are bang on.
Google exists.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining Samuel and Mara as extremely aggressive Butlins reps that are like, you're having fun, aren't you? You're having fun. This is a fun place. Everyone should relax.
That's it.
With an army of fucking knights behind them.
Essentially, they're telling people you're safe while there are armed guards everywhere around them.
Yeah,
you know,
watching every
awful.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just awful.
But I love it because it tells you so much about Samuel and Mara, right? These are two vain as fuck kids, desperate to be loved and adored and have friends and influence. And they're trying to pretend that everything's fine and that, oh, this is just a normal court. But it's at the court at the end of a sword. It's like, you know, it's like you will like us. You will be our friends.
Yeah.
That's what I find most frustrating and most brilliant about Samuel and Mara, that they've got this sort of this refusal to acknowledge reality, or rather they think reality is what they decide to make it. So in the same way as Samuel all the way through has been going, oh, it'll be fine. I'll do this, or you'll do this, won't you? This will happen, and then this will happen. Like he can plan it out. That assumption that because you want it, it'll occur. And they're slowly realizing, I think, that maybe that's not the case. I love that little moment with them after the apple burying scene when they were kind of watching it before they went off. And that moment of, it was almost like watching a 4-year-old get theory of mind. You know, when they go through that phase where they're like, oh, other people have opinions and feelings. That's weird.
Oh.
It was kind of like the first little dabblings of, oh, maybe there's something else going on, or like, oh, things could have been different if we hadn't made the choices we made. But there's this stubborn, bullheaded refusal to be like, to dwelling in that or learning from the mistakes of the past. And just, it's this determination, particularly from Mara, to just plow on. Like, oh, well, we can't go back on the past, which is a very healthy attitude as long as you learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really, really do love that with Mara, that we've seen her marry a man, follow him into a stupid fucking conflict, which got him killed. Well, not killed, but made him kill someone. Almost killed. I mean, the battle at Vulture's Roost was shut down by Maekar. The whole lot of them almost nearly got fucking arrested because they went charging off on a crusade for Alistair. And here she is following another fucking dude to war.
Encouraging another dude to war.
Yeah.
There is a common denominator here. I'm not biased.
No, of course not. No. There's definitely nothing wrong with women who grew up in Greenmont. Definitely not.
No.
That did no damage to any of them.
No issues.
No, not at all.
No. Speaking of damaged women from Greenmont, though, here comes Miria in the next scene in her new digs at Ironwood. She is through the day working her fucking ass off to help rebuild and be a very present force for her new people, because she wants to she's very much had it instilled in her from Marcia, from Oliver, that your peasants work for you, but ultimately you work for them. Like, your whole existence depends on these people. And if your people are not there with you, then you are fucked. So she's really trying to put in the PR work to be like, hi, I'm here. Like, I'm here for you. You're here for me. We got let's make this work.
What can I do to make your experience of Ironwood better?
Going like that.
Shaking hands, kissing babies, you know.
She's fill out this questionnaire. How can I make you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's very much, but she's trying her best. Like, she doesn't have much in the way of any guidance. So she's flying by the fucking seat of her pants. And then by night, she's poring over the documents in the solar, looking at the taxes, looking at all the financial stuff and the infrastructure. And she's like, what the fuck did Horatio do? Like, oh my God. I think at this bit, she finds the letter from Marin Martell where he officially asks Horatio to murder Oliver. And she's like, pocket that bitch for later. Budadunk. Because she already kind of knew.
Yeah.
She already knew that this was going to happen. So, that had happened, but it's nice to have the evidence. And at this point, Horatio comes in with a fucking apple. Not Horatio, Harris. Ooh, that was a horrible slip. Harris comes in with an apple.
That was a dream that Miria had and woke up sweating.
Yeah. That's
No.
Regret.
No. Harris comes in with his apple, being all like, hey boo, I heard some news. And she's like, what up? And he's like, oh, shit went down at Horn Hill. The Tarleys basically have half the Reach as their prisoner. She's like, oh, do they? Interesting. And he's like, I want to go there and be like, yo, I'm the actual Lord Pyramid of the Reach. What's cracking? You know, come and and she's like, how about we don't do that right now, because I know the Tarleys, and the moment you go in there being like, I'm the Lord Pyramid of the Reach, they'll go, I don't think you are, and kill you. And Miria has lost enough people that she has squishy heart feelings for, that she doesn't want Harris to die, even though it's still like an infatuation-y, crushy, like, I like you, but no, like, declaration.
What was that?
I don't know.
Weird,
that was
witchy.
like a wicked witch of the north.
I like you, my pretty. Susie Seduction 101. Fucking hell.
Hey, I'm fucking married. It works, all right?
Apparently so. It worked. I've got to try that.
So, yeah, Miria's like, okay, what happened? All right, they've taken... This is where she finds out about the Horn Hill thing. She does not yet find out about Ellery being moided. But she hears that prisoners were taken, some people died, but no specifics yet. And Harris is very keen on going. However, there were... he asks Miriam to take him through Fox Hollow because he doesn't want to go through the Prince's Pass. Going up the Bone Way would take you straight to Summerhall, and Fox Hollow is a nice sneaky way up the mountain to go to Horn Hill because they're basically next door neighbors, basically unseen. I talk with my hands a lot, Millie. Okay,
I love
Leave me
it.
alone.
I love it. No, don't stop. I was just enjoying it.
And Miriam's like, okay, but we need to shore up Ironwood first, because if someone comes down the Bone Way, that is the whole eastern coast of Dawn just fucking ripe for the taking. And I would have done a very shit job as the Blood Royal if on my first test I failed to guard the way. So we need to shore up some shit first, and then we can go. So she kind of convinces him to hold his fucking horses for the time being, before they go up to Fox Hollow, which she... I will say at that point was very, very, very conflicted about, because A, she didn't want to leave Ironwood just yet. B, she knows that Marcia is a extremely staunch Targaryen loyalist. And if she comes through Fox Hollow with her little Blackfyre butt and her Blackfyre boyfriend, then it's probably not going to go well, which we saw the other week. But
it was the big family row when one of the daughters brings home an unsuitable boyfriend. It's like,
Yeah.
hello, mother. Hello, father. Here is my boyfriend who is a member of a biker gang. Why are you all shouting?
Except it was much worse. Yes, so Miri was very conflicted about it. And definitely in that moment. And here's my thought process at that time is if I was playing like Crusader Kings or Age of Empires, would not have left Ironwood. Fucking would not have done it because that is tactically stupid decision. That she needs to be there, all her troops need to be there just to block off the Boneway, stop Maekar if he's coming that way. But we're not here to do the tactically right thing. It's the Game of Thrones. It's about the juicy fruits, and it was more dramatic, more fun, more juicy if she decided to go. So that was my whole thought process in that moment with that scene.
Sorry, Susie, could you remind me what you said when you just talked about Miria and taking Ironwood, that what the people truly wanted? What you need to be as a good leader. Stay with your people, show that their thing.
Unless there's juice involved.
Kind of, yeah. There was a big juice you saw on the hill, and you just went.
I mean,
but that's the
I
kind
do
of
like that.
The
flavor.
morning after the siege, and she's like, "Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
Good luck." And just like, dips out.
No, it's the thing where you have to reconcile it being like a juicy story between a game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Because like
I suppose with the current news, what's happening, as you know what's happening, it might have turned out to be quite juicy to stay. But at the time, you don't know, do you? You didn't know, and you have to go with the fun, right?
Yeah. But as what happened in our in-between sessions, when we had our house actions, I formed a new unit, the Vultures, who are guerrillas, who are not like good fighters. Guerrillas and scout units in Song of Ice and Fire, fucking garbage. Don't bother. But it was
a spy network. They're fun.
It was worth it to spend the 3 points of power I had because I couldn't invest them anywhere else. So Ironwood has the Brotherhood of the Blood Royal, who are with me currently. I think I'm renaming them to the Order of the Blood Royal though, and get some chicks in there because it's a bit of a sausage fest. So they're the Order now. Then there's the Guardians of the Way, I think. But Guardians of the Boneway, I think, who are the garrison. And then there's the Vultures, who are the guerrillas. The Vultures are now like positioned around the Boneway as scouts mainly, and they're ordered not to fucking attack, to report, get back, and get fucking ravens out as quickly as possible. I am tempted to build dig a big fucking trench in the Boneway that's like, we know it's there, so we can traverse it should we want to go north. But anyone coming south isn't going to know there's a trench, and it's going to fuck them up for like a day, which would be nice. So maybe I'll get the spades out, get the little sand buckets from the seaside.
Those
anyway.
poor vultures. I thought we were going to be really important. Why are we doing this?
I don't know. The Vultures have got a marksmanship of 4.
Yeah, they might be good as like... They're supposed to be guerrilla fighters, so Dawn has a history of asymmetrical warfare. When Aegon's conquest happened and they came over the dragons, the Dornish people literally went to ground because they heard and they saw about castles getting fucking melted by dragon fire. Can't melt the earth, bitches. So they went into the ground, and then I think they actually got one of the dragons, if not one of Aegon's sisters, in Dawn, because she landed and she was all like, I'm a Targaryen, and then they all popped out of the ground and went, fuck you, and got her, and then she died.
Right.
Somebody animate that summary, please.
Fuck you. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that's what we're keeping up the Dornish tradition. From a definite Dornish woman. Definitely Dornish. Yes. All right. So next up we had Samuel, I believe, in that episode, and it was, I think, discussion of what to do next, where to go.
Oh, the war council thing.
It was the war council.
Awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward. And there was some bitterness, right? Because one of the lords was a little bit pissed that Costain got
Caswell's after Old Town.
Yeah, he was like, why has this bitch got Old Town? What makes him worthy? You know, like, it's not cool.
I get the feeling there's more to that issue. And I really want a chance to talk to him, but we'll see how Thursday goes.
But yes, so there was dissent, a little bit of dissent, and there was also, I think, somebody said to him, "You are not the fucking king. Why are we following you? Who you've declared yourself the Lord Paramount of the Reach."
I'm so glad somebody called him on it. Finally, I was just like, I was thinking it's more like an equal footing kind of situation, just like buddies.
Yeah. Rather than Samuel declaring himself like fucking Lord and King of the Reach, someone, was it Caswell? Oh shit. Hold on, friends, we have a slight technical issue. One moment, please. Let me just bring you back to this menu. Whoops! My Zoom died. 1 second. Let me put it here real quick. Yeah, you can still hear me. Can't still hear the chat, the other two, because the Zoom died, because I forgot this was a free account. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Did you?
Hi.
Are you not using Black Cat's Zoom?
No, I'm using my Zoom. I forgot. We're back
Yeah.
then. We got it. We
You're on Sam's now.
No, I'm on mine still, but it's fine. We'll sort it out.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
we
so
go,
where
back.
was I? Yes. It was fuck Brian, hello. It was you're not the king. You don't really get to make the big calls here. We haven't heard from the king. Has someone sent a message to the king to Do you know what? That's one thing that struck me. They have not, like, as far as we know, send any correspondence to the Blackfyres.
Nope. The
None.
Blackfyres haven't even said whether they want the Tarleys or not.
Samuel who?
They're essentially three fighting forces here. The Targaryens, the Blackfyres, and the Tarleys, which is / what he's calling as the Reach. They technically haven't formed an alliance yet.
No.
You know, there's been no... So that'll be interesting to see whether the Blackfyres want to be associated with an Oathbreaker and someone who has broken, gift rights
I'm
multiple
not sure
times.
that's going to be the greatest concern.
I don't know.
It might just be like, who the fuck do you think you are, little boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
to play with daddy's catapults. That's adorable. Fuck off.
the ego. I'm actually sad that Samuel, because you know what he did, didn't make a little crown for himself.
Give him time.
It's coming. You know it's
coming.
fucking
It's
coming.
so
He already calls
coming.
himself the Golden Bear. Can you imagine, right?
Ugh.
Can you imagine how insufferable a reign would be from them? Could you imagine how
Ugh.
much? All the pomp and circumstance, the fucking outfits they would wear. We would never hear the fucking end of it. Ugh.
Right. Be so funny.
No, thank you.
Enzo would probably like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd have a good time. I mean, they would be in so much debt as a kingdom by the end of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
Which would be great for like whoever they borrow it from. I mean, we
Do
saw what
they
happened
care?
to Bobby B borrowing so much money from the Lannisters.
Yeah.
That's how you end up in someone's pocket.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure neither the Tarleys nor the Costains should be trusted with any measure of money or power at all, ever.
Mm-mm.
And probably not Lord Leo either, to be honest. But at least he's just like,
yeah.
I don't know how to do my job. Please help.
Mummy,
And everybody
do my
helps.
job for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, James, like I
Fine.
get that is a good point. Like they are literally handing the reach to them on a plate if they hand the reach to them. Because I know Jonathan Fry,
Yeah.
and I know that things are not about as simple as they appear. Now,
But it's
Samuel may declare, I mean, he literally said in the most recent episode, I don't care which purple-eyed fucking monster is on the throne, because he has no intention of handing over this power once he has it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And it's not just one kingdom, right? It's not just Reach and Dawn.
Mhm.
There are 5 other kingdoms
Yeah.
that, that can send. I know they didn't not really in the first Blackfire, did it? It was primarily Reach and Dawnish area, and the others kind of stayed out of it. But I mean, it is possible that other areas like the Riverlands, maybe the North, Crownlands.
Well, he's already sent
Storm.
forces up north to slow the Lannisters down in case they come down.
Yeah.
So
That's just gonna piss off the Lannisters
Mhm.
anyway.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, you
although I
sent
don't
pirates,
think
cute.
the Lannisters have got the dosh, but they haven't got the. Well, don't they have like some sort of like a wiki kind of, and the Lannisters kind of
Haven't
crap
they got a good
until-
navy?
Lannisters have a very strong navy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're right on Lannisport is right on the water, and they're
Mm.
just
Yeah.
south of the Iron Islands. So they built up a strong navy to counter the raids, with all their fucking money. Because I was watching a thing the other day, and Lannisport is built on top of several mines, so they just
they're all gold,
shit
aren't
money. Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shit money. But yeah, I don't think the North's gonna get involved. The North never gets involved unless
Not
it
really.
affects the
Hmm.
North. And
Yeah.
who the fuck in the realms care about the North, honestly? Even in
It was a shithole.
Game of Thrones time, they're just like, it's just cold and shit
Yeah,
up there.
they tend to just leave them alone, don't they? As long as they
Very
don't
much like
rock the
real life
boat or
England.
anything. Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah,
They're
we-
also
yeah,
cold and angry. We're scared of them.
it's grim up there, all right? But yeah, I think maybe if shit really goes down and King's Landing falls, then Riverlands, they've basically got no choice but to get involved because they're not too far away.
Because House Karen was Stormlands, right?
Yes, I believe.
But they're
Karen is
already
Stormlands.
in.
I shall look it up.
Let's get up the map so we can look.
Let's see how much Millie's brain has taken in about the massive list of houses and allegiances she
How do you spell
did
Karen?
months ago.
C-A-
Caron.
Yep.
Like Sharon with a K.
Yeah, there's Stormland House.
Yeah, Stormlanders.
The Rural Night Song.
That's such a fucking great name for a castle.
And
Pretentious
hold the
house.
title of Lord of the Marches.
Nee.
Ooh.
Pretentious.
Although they don't hold domain over other Marcher Lords.
Yeah, they're just like, we call ourselves this. It doesn't mean it's
essentially
like one of
a
those.
Samuel Tarly title.
Yeah. They're like
Look,
one of
these-
those doctors on the internet that aren't really doctors but call themselves.
These titles meant things back in the day, is all I'm saying.
Well, I take my title as Marshal of the North Marches incredibly seriously. I am attempting to marshal the bastards right now, but it's not.
Oh, okay. So back to where we were in the episode rather than
Sorry, yeah,
Tangentville.
yeah.
What other houses did we hear from? So we know Caswell of Bitterbridge are in, House Karen are in.
I've got a spreadsheet. Hang on. Where was it?
Sad Santa's in Merryweather,
Mullendore.
Mullendore.
Not many of the smaller ones. I think this is.
Ambrose?
Yeah, Ambrose
Yeah.
is in. Let me find my sheet. Because I think it's very telling about the way Samuel Tarly's mind works, that he has focused almost exclusively on the bigger houses, which makes sense. But he's totally discounted the majority of the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
And while Costain taking Old Town and Hightower basically going, yeah, all right then, has made a couple of his vassal houses turn.
Mm-hmm.
The others haven't. And I think that's very telling.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. See, this is the shit I love about Song of Ice and Fire is like the politics of it all. Like, you know, war is very rarely so simple as these houses being like, let's go do a war, yay, because everybody wants shit out of stuff. So like, they're not going to do stuff unless they get a reward for it, or if they see a significant benefit for it. Very few people in houses would sign up for a cause just because they believe in it. They want to make something out of it. Which is something that I want to dig into a little bit more with Miria, I think, with her making alliances with the Dornish houses, you know, promising shit. Like, you know, back in the day, an alliance was promised with like, all right, so if I have a fucking daughter, she's yours, you know, if you have a son, we'll marry our children. And Miria is, I mean, she's 18 right now, but that shit is weighing on her very heavily, that she is ostensibly the only Ironwood right now, because we're not counting Horatio because he's a dead man. He just doesn't know it yet. Well, and she's not the only Ironwood, but she's the one sitting in the seat, and she doesn't have an heir. She doesn't have anyone to pass it on to should she die. But also, as the fifth child of a house, like, she's very well aware that people get fucking married off to shore up alliances. Happened to her sister, would have happened to her brothers had they not died at the field, you know. Simon became a maester, so he doesn't count, but, you know, like, Bryn and Wayland would have had marriages arranged. I mean, Bryn should already have a marriage arranged by now. Should be betrothed by now. He's 5.
Yeah,
Come
pretty
on.
much.
Yeah.
Like, this is how Faye and Samuel started out. That was just an agreed thing.
Thing, wasn't it? With the
Fight me, Sam.
Legitimate in which king's eyes is one there.
I just want Miria and Faye to just go out for tea and cake together and sob at each other about how shit it all is, and it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, and how much they hate the Tullys.
I was the young one, and I wasn't supposed to do this, and nobody. Oh, Mara.
Yeah.
We can have a bitch about Mara.
Miria be like,
cake.
There were 4 fucking siblings ahead of me. This wasn't supposed to happen. I was the 5th.
Oh no, Faye was the 4th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
War.
Yeah. Three older brothers, right? God, yeah, you were like down. Like, you.
It's part of the reason she is what she is.
Oh my god,
nothing was ever expected.
The amount of conversations they could have about being like the extra child, that like nothing was expected of them, because I mean, you're fucking so far down the line that who even cares about you at this point? But
that's why she sort of knows a lot about her kingdom. I think because she, at the age of, I think it was 17, her father died and her brothers died completely unexpectedly, and they're like, you're in charge now, good luck. So she like panicked and tried to learn everything, and I'm definitely not drawing on personal experience
I was gonna say
about that level of panic of like, oh fuck, I need to know how this works.
Oh oh no. But yeah, so again, back to the episode, not Tangent Central. Enzo got a letter to Faye being like, I'm sorry I dashed on you, babe, but
did he say sorry though? Did he say sorry? Did he explain?
Didn't he say
That's
like,
different.
please forgive me? Like,
no.
Yes, he did say that.
No, he did. Did he?
He did. It was the first thing he said.
Oh, all right, fine. I burned the letter. I don't know.
Didn't fucking hear it.
Nah, that's not what I read.
Let me see. because you just skip that part. And just say, yeah. So it says, Faye, first line, please forgive me leaving you. Literally the first line.
See, now you're ready for a conversation with Jay about how infuriating I am. Oh, I'm sorry. My memory didn't process that.
Yeah.
So it was just a politeness. Like, oh, sorry.
No.
But it was adorable and very unexpected for her, for sure. Nah, still shipping it.
I ship that shit like FedEx. It's a beautiful. It's.
I love that. I love
It's
that.
such a no. Like I'm as a big buff strong girl as I am, who is known for being a bit of a dickhead at times. I am also extremely like a soft-hearted romantic. So this story of like Faye and Enzo, this lady bound by obligation, this dashing young pirate, it's literally a fucking Mills and Boone novel. The lady and the pirate. And, you know, he wins her heart. She opens up enough to let him in. Then they're torn apart. And it's horrible. And it's heartbreaking. And he sends a letter being like, I love you. And she's like, ugh. And then she thinks he's dead.
Yeah. I tell you what, writing that letter, I must have rewrote it like up to 10 different
You had
ways.
letter bleed.
I did. It was so... Because there was so much... So I was trying to think what Enzo wanted to say in that letter. But there was just so much he wanted to say. He wanted to explain why he did what he did. He wanted to say he was a little pissed off because she didn't believe him. He wanted to say that, oh, you know, like, this isn't the end. I will be back. Don't worry about it. He wanted to say, I will help you out here while you're in there, so we can work this out and stuff. So it was all of these things going in the head, and I was going, right, how the hell do I put that? Because it's only going to be, should be a shortish letter, because you can't write a novel. I'm not Simon. And portray that in such a short thing, but do it in a way that Enzo would do it. That was very difficult, because it needed to be a bit, you know, there needed to be a bit of like oomph behind it.
Eye twinkle.
You know, yeah, there needed to be like a thing, and the thing like, and he also kind of like going, well, you know, it's not all my fault. You know, it's not all my
There
fault.
were
that
two
this
people
happened.
involved here.
You know, it's not like, you know, I just left you because I fancied it. It was my life. If I kind of so it was very difficult to write. I think in the end I did all right. I think in the end the letter was pretty good.
I think it did what it was intended to do.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Yeah, and that's all I can hope for really with it. But,
yeah, I think it was a really lovely letter. You know, there's a little twinkle of hope in there. It was just enough to get like the juice.
I think that was just enough of like not what she was expecting from him. Like there was no like flowery declaration of love or anything. So there's just enough. I think when you really like somebody and something like that has happened, if you think they've changed their mind, that's often enough to make you kind of go, oh, feelings still. Shit. Yeah. So it was very smart on that level.
Yeah. And just like, I'm a sucker for letters that end with like, you know, yours or forever yours or like forever, you know, blah, blah, blah. Enzo fucking hit you with like a forever yours, Enzo. And I was like,
yeah.
Because,
pretty
you know,
good with like, Enzo's pretty good with the one-liners and then off. You know? It's easy.
That's how he got it the first time, right? That's how the seduction at the ball.
Yeah,
and everywhere
basically.
else, actually, it's just been like, boom,
one
you're
line.
down.
Enzo does tend to have the last word.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always a kind of,
because he talks so much.
Yeah.
But not everything could stay sunshine and roses forever with that letter, because Faye would also receive a double whammy of information there. Because I'm pretty sure that's when your one of your spies was like, "Do you want to hear a song, my lady? It's the song about your dead knight."
Chat, decide what tune that would go to.
Yeah, that's
I love it. I love it. Just, hey, do you want to hear a song how you did that? Sorry, that really tickled me because I
no,
can't
it's to the tune of Dead Mom from Beetlejuice the musical in my head.
Oof. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is when one of your spies says like, "Oh, I found some shit out about Sir Osmond, your bloke that went missing. He was captured by the Tallies and killed in the Tally encampment, but you don't find out like who did it, right? There was no like details that like Samuel offered him fucking surrender and then just killed him anyway. It was just, you know, they caught him and killed him.
Yeah. Yep, been waiting for that to come out for quite a while, and I'm so glad it finally did.
What was that like emotional whiplash, like going from "oh, Enzo" to "oh"?
That was peak Faye. That's what her head is constantly. I think it's just, it was more instant, more fact-based rather than her thought processes, because she's constantly torn between what she wants and what she feels like she should do. And up until now, she's very, very much been on the track of, this is what you should do. Suddenly there's a double whammy of, oh, by the way, this nice guy. And then also, and now you feel rage and fear. What you gonna do? And certainly those two things being together, in my head, it was very reminiscent of that time in court when she'd first found out from Sir Dennis about what had happened. And she talked to Enzo about it, and he was saying what he would do about the situation, and it got very dark. And I think in her head that would have been like the sirens beginning. she's slowly going on down a slightly darker path for her, which I'm really intrigued to see her battle with.
I love it. I really love
She's
it.
been
And
such a good girl.
she's been so sweet and light the whole time. Only a little bit sassy, but you know, never having ill intent. Very interesting. It's a very cool thing to see happen. With a character like Faye, someone who was very social, who was there, but was kind of like a character on the periphery. She wasn't a main character until you brought her in. But to see her develop as someone who's just trying their fucking best despite it all, to someone who's like, okay, all right, yeah, fucking take jewelry out. This is it. I'm skirts up. I'm coming
Hold my
in.
earrings.
Enzo's in the back, like, I got him. Don't worry, baby. You go. Get him.
I desperately want them to just like go on some sort of torture murder spree together. Like in the darkest timeline, it would just be like, okay, so first we fuck up Costain and then we follow the line back, right? Like I can't imagine it would happen actually in this storyline, but for sure that's a path he could take her on if he wanted to.
If there's anything I've learned about this entire storyline, is that literally anything can happen. Like
that's
literally
true.
anything. I'll be honest, Enzo has he has thought about such things because he knows what he said and he knows what Faye's reaction was and how much how much it meant to her and how betrayed and hurt she was about what happened. And Enzo, and I will say, I have thought of what Enzo would think about it. and the whole thing. And I've got ideas about what could potentially happen. Let's just say they meet up and, they find who is the orchestrator of all of it. And we're in the same room. I have thought about what Enzo might say and might do and might suggest. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Juicy.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Hey, Maesters of Old Town. I'll swap you some official court documents for the abduction of a dude. Just saying.
Trade you. Like, here's a fucking Pokemon card. Hey, Maester Voltang, I get that shiny Charizard? Thanks. All right. So after that bombshell, we get to see Samwell's letter to the good people of the Reach. Because it was written for small folk as well as the lords, except Lord JK, most small folk can't read. So that's not very helpful. No, I think he probably had like fucking heralds go out and read it too, or like posted on community boards, so at least the one person in the village that can read reads it. But it was his declaration that Targets are trash, Leo's trash, we need to get rid, that he is going to be the acting Lord Paramount of the Reach. He vows to be the sword and the shield of the Reach to protect it and its people. Basically saying that, hey, look, this is how shit's gonna go. Join me or die.
Pretty much.
Which is basically what that letter was saying. It was stand by me or get fucking squished.
And couldn't you believe it? That was after Faye did a bit of a rewrite on the bit that was like, oh, hey. The original version put her in that paragraph with like, oh, I'm aided by my clever wife and my lovely dad and my friend Faye, who's helping loads. And she was like, I think fucking not.
Red pen.
You will put me at the beginning and you will make it clear that I did not want to be here.
That was a good save.
Yeah, yeah. Good save. Basically just announcing they have hostages too. That was the whole thing. We got hostages. We've taken over half the Reach as it is. And this is when Miria had to make the choice. Do we stay here and Harris is super duper now being like, I want to go talk to him and take over because he'll respect me because I am the real Lord Paramount of the Reach. And I'm like, Harris, baby, no,
how
don't
tall
do
is
this.
Harris?
Harris reminds me
go on.
of a sad lost puppy that you just want to go, oh, there. I
just want to protect him. I just want to protect him.
And the problem, and that is supposed to be the region of the Reach.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't ever really seen him in a proper general role where he is like, in charge, where he's ordering and stuff. Purely through because of the show, the way they structured it. Purely because of the way the show is structured. We don't often get to see those perspectives of other NPCs being these big dominant characters. So whenever Harris is in a scene with Miria, he's usually deferring to Miria because Sam doesn't want to take my player agency. And for Harris to be like, I'm the general here in the Blackfyre. You have sworn yourself to Blackfyre. You'll do what I say.
I still think he's a puppy, though.
Yeah, he's fucking
I don't think
puppy.
He's going to be a good general. I don't think he's going to be a good regent. No. He's just your little puppy.
Well, we just
I think
need
he'll
to
be
get
a
him.
good puppy.
We need to get him a strong, powerful Dornish wife. Who will actually... We're just going to do Leo Tyrell all over again.
See, he's not sounding so bad now, right?
I stole Casella's name once, and I'm going to steal her job next. But no, I mean, as is the case with most medieval history, the women were running the fucking show, whilst the dudes were all like, look how big my my dick is. I'm gonna go to France and spaff away all our fucking money fighting my cousin in France, while I'm gonna leave my wife back home and she can run the fucking country for me. It's just how it was, and it's how it is in Westeros. Even in Game of Thrones, the women are running the fucking show. The dudes talk a lot of shit, and they're all like, I'm in charge. They're not. They are not. Categorically, they are not. So yeah. Miria has to be like, okay, you want to do this? I can't stop you from doing this. Gonna shore up Ironwood, then we'll go to Fox Hollow. Because she says, I defer to you. You're the general. You know, this is what you want to do. But in our house actions, I was like, we're gonna get a royal decree. We're gonna get that signed at least by the king, and we're gonna tell people where we're going. So when Harris inevitably gets murdered by the Tarleys, there will be some repercussions.
There will be consequences.
Yes, consequences being the name of Miria's new spear.
Nice.
Yes. Hello, Samuel. I would like to introduce you to consequences.
Hello.
He's not the problem.
He is not the problem.
Well, I mean, he's, one of the problems. The other one will,
honestly,
it's a 2-for-1 deal, right?
If in an alternate timeline, I fully expect that Samuel and Fatali could have done a very good job of things, because he needs a leveling presence.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good at inspiring people, but he's got no moral compass.
I mean, having spoken to Don a bunch about Samuel, I can see where Samuel's coming from. Like, he is young blood that is dissatisfied with the system. He wants to do his part to do what he thinks is right, and he we say it often, but the villains are the heroes of their own tales. And he genuinely thinks what he is doing is the right thing, because things do need to change. And he is aware that, and a lot of people in the realm are aware that things need to change. It's just the way he's going about it is a very destructive way. It's a very bullheaded way. But he knows no other way to be. Like, that is just who he is as a person. I mean, Miria's done tons of bullheaded shit herself, because this is just who she is.
Oh, idea.
Yes.
We hold a big festival. We let all the men of Westeros, the Reach, probably the Stormlands as well, like surrounding areas, scrap it out to the death. None of this blunted swords nonsense. Just scrap. Let them get to the natural conclusion of that, which is everybody dying. And then the women who were left over, who were running things in the first place, just ship some pretty men in from I don't know, Bravos or Dawn, and continue things that way.
Enzo's going, I'll do my part.
Shut up.
I volunteer as tribute.
Gleaming rose between the teeth. I'm doing my part. Yeah, exactly. He's ready to lead the French Revolution from the barricades and be killed there. Like, Samuel he is that young blood craving action.
He's the hero of his own story that he's made up in his mind, right? That's pretty much what
he's the hero of tales told in the Reach, though. The stories of knights going into battle valiantly to stand up for what's right with their people. They've got this chivalry, they've got this honor, they've got, they're doing killing people and things and horrible creatures in the name of what is good and right. It's like, this shit is bred into kids in the Reach. I mean, we've talked about this before, like with the first Blackfyre Rebellion, why so many young men signed up, because this was their moment to be the knights from the stories. So
look, get a hobby.
Yeah.
prove yourself at a craft. What's wrong with you? Stop it.
Yeah.
Blech.
They are the epitome of that meme, which is like, God has let me live another day, and I'm about to make it everybody's problem.
Yeah.
But man, they're fucking compelling characters to watch.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Their whole journey has been just one whole roller coaster of, I hate them so much. I cannot abide them, but fuck, I can't look away.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You just can't look away. And you kind of a part of you kind of wants them to go, no, sharpen up, think what you're doing. And then the other part is, you keep going full steam ahead. Keep going.
Burn it
I want
all.
to see the end of this track and the destruction that it lays.
It's the conflict between like having to compartmentalize you as a person who's watching this thing and then you as a player.
Yeah.
Like as
Yeah.
a player, I'm like, I want you to fucking die because you've done nothing but ruin my character's life from the moment go. Like, Jesus Christ, please stop. But as a viewer, I'm like, don't ever stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
Make this
See,
terrible.
me as a player is the same as me as a viewer. Me as a player is like, fuck me up, beat me at an intrigue, please, please, please hurt me. I want to see what happens. Me as Faye is very different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think I have good intentions for Faye. I don't know what that says about me psychologically.
Oh shit, we forgot the most important bit of this episode. The Tarleys decide to send Casella back to Highgarden.
Oh yeah.
I know. Why did they let me get away with that? I'm so
I don't know.
confused.
I don't know why they agreed. I don't know whether it was because Millie and not Millie, Don and V forgot that Casella was running the show at Highgarden, or or Samuel and Mara didn't know.
Did they
she
know?
Was running.
I wouldn't have
I
thought
don't
they'd
think-
know.
no.
I think it was more Samuel and Mara didn't know rather than Don
Yeah.
and V. I
Yeah.
think it was a very in character. I think it was one of those young, naive kind of like things that the characters did. I'm pretty sure Don knows and V know what they did. But they did it again for the juice because you know what, Don just loves it.
Yeah.
He just loves it, and V is just, you know what, V likes it just as much as anyone else,
Yeah.
and
But
yeah,
I cannot state enough how much of a fuck up that was.
that's a pretty big fuck up for them. Yeah, that's a pretty big fuck up. Well, I mean, it has the potential to be a pretty big fuck up. It does
True.
depend on what she actually does.
Mm.
If she essentially does nothing and not, like just stays in Highgarden and does nothing,
She's
to like
Dornish.
she's not gonna do that. We all know that.
No.
But,
That
I mean, not only
conversation with-
that, but they have her son and her husband. Like,
Yeah.
they have her child.
pretty big.
Yeah.
It's a
And
pretty big thing.
if we know one thing about women in Westeros is you don't
Mm.
threaten their babies and you
Yeah.
don't keep their babies from them. And again, she's Dornish, as we know in the conversation in the next episode. She
Yeah.
is furious. That
And
is
she's
an
very
angry
much
woman.
like, just do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She
can't imagine
basically
she
told
wouldn't just-
Faye to just fuck Samuel in front of Mara. She was like, get between them. I don't care how you fucking do it, get between them.
Yeah. Do it
Yep.
for the realm.
Oh, if I must.
Oh well.
Lie back and think of Westeros.
But I love conversations like that where there's not like, it was an intrigue, but that wasn't the point she was trying to get across. It was
Yeah.
just very much, are you telling me the truth? But I love taking elements of that then fed into the episode last week.
Ooh.
So all those little intersecting lines between different conversations come to a pinpoint and you're like, oh, this is what she's thinking. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I fucking love Casella. I know she's awful, but I love her.
Like, Sam worked so hard to make us fucking love her that episode because previously we'd seen her and she was a fucking bitch. She was horrible. Didn't like her at all. But that episode, I was like, I would go to war for this woman. I would lay down my life for this woman. I would do whatever she asked me to. I love her.
And
She
she
is-
saved her hubby
And she is now
Like-
free in Highgarden.
with an open
Wait,
line of
didn't-
communication that Samwell's paying for. I don't even need to use one of my spy cells. He thinks I'm communicating for him.
Did they send anyone with her?
Ambrose
Like,
dropped him off,
entourage.
dropped her off,
That
but I
was
think it was just her.
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't let her take her son with her, as far as I remember.
No.
Ambrose went.
Her son's
Ambrose
with
went.
Faye. Faye has personally been looking
Oh,
after
that's
him.
right, because now we have a bunch of, it's the Babysitters Club with
Yeah,
Faye and
Babysitters
Elsa.
Club of
God, yeah.
Westeros.
Yeah.
But more on that later.
More on that later.
As we
We've still yet
collect
to finish
children.
episode 1 because we
Episode
keep
one.
going off on
Fucking hell.
fucking tangents. But right at the end, Mara finds out that that Lord John is dead and Alistair is now a free man and has just been released somewhere into the world. And her immediate thought is not, fuck, the occult money is run up. It's, oh no, Alistair's not going to like me anymore. He's going to be angry at me. Ah! I mean, having spoken with V, she was also very aware of the occult money drying up, which is very bad in war. You need money, turns out. Soldiers are expensive. But most of our conversations about Alistair were, he's going to be angry. He's going to be upset. He's not going to like me anymore. What am I going to do? And I'm like, that is perfect, Mara. Perfect, Mara. Despite everything, despite the realm being at fucking war, you know, she's lost friends, she's lost family. No one wants to really talk to her anymore. That is the one thing that's really grating her, that nobody wants to talk to her anymore. Nobody likes her anymore.
Yeah.
It's
kudos to Sam as well for putting that little bit of information in just to fuck with her from the spy.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Just like tweaking something, you know, will give somebody issues.
Yeah.
And then just walking away.
Drop by. It's great. I love it because it really does make the character of Mara more three-dimensional. You know, she has this fucking neurosis about just desperately wanting to be loved. Like it's all she fucking wants, and the stuff she's giving up and the stuff she has done for it, it's so good. It's so good. V does a fantastic job. And I just want to state again, for the several times that I've already stated this, as much as we say we fucking hate Samuel and Mara, we adore Don and V, and we think they do such a great job with those characters that they elicit that reaction from us.
Yeah.
It's juicy juice. Okay, do we have any final thoughts on episode 1?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
It
That was an hour and a
begins.
half.
Jesus.
Cool. This will be fine.
2 a.m. Okay. Episode
right.
4.
Next episode, The Harrowing of Hornhill. This was a song title that Tom and I dreamed up on Discord a couple of days before the episode came out. Because Tom was telling me that Enzo, in his travels, is going around and telling everyone about the horrible, horrible things that the Tarleys did at Hornhill.
Yeah.
And we see Enzo getting fucking white girl wasted in a tavern somewhere with his top men, and paying for everyone in the pub to have drinks. But you see like a very tense atmosphere here. Like no one has declared one way or the other. And everyone's kind of giving each other that look, you know, like, you. And Enzo just goes with, so, let me tell you a story about the shady bitches at Hornhill and the stuff they fucking did at their wedding. Garbage.
I thought you were going to launch into like a Fresh Prince thing then.
So here's the story. All about that.
Yeah.
It was good. It was very good. I mean, it's again another way which wars are won, right? You control the narrative, you spread the propaganda. It's not necessarily propaganda when they did the shit you're telling people they did.
So I mean, Enzo, like I've said multiple times, Enzo isn't a soldier. He isn't a general. He is who he is. He's just a very famous pirate, and people listen to him when he talks, and they pissed him off because they ruined, they essentially cockblocked him completely, and they just ruined. They've basically just sent the country, in the entire realm, into just complete anarchy. Right? They don't know who's who, and so he's pissed off. So he's retelling the story of what happened, but he's obviously embellishing it and making it worse than it is. Like, you know, making the Tarleys and Samwell like some sort of cowardly puppet, and like Mara is more of a, you know, like a witch that does black, and that was more of a kind of like a bite back from what they tried to do with Marcia. He basically wanted to kind of switch that and say, well, Marcia isn't a witch. I mean, she is, but she isn't a witch. To Mara. So it's kind of like it is propaganda to the extent that it's been twisted, so that what was told is more horrific, but it sticks in the mind more, and it tilts it more towards just really emphasizing the horrificness of what they did, and essentially he did it so that. Well, one, it'll spread like wildfire because pubs, commoners, because that's all they have. They haven't got freaking TV or anything. They just chat and share rumors and stuff. So that'll spread throughout the thing. And, you know, like they want people to fight for them. So it might take people, well, hang on, they did this horrific thing. They've got a witch next to talking, whispering in that guy's ear, controlling. I mean, what the hell's going to happen to me? So that was the idea, was to stall, and you know, like it may not do anything too big, but it's that little kind of like little jab that Enzo could do while, you know, straight after what happened on his way to where he was going.
I mean, that's how this shit works though, right? In Westeros, it's like your reputation is everything. And so I mean, you know, if the small folk had got a hold of the fact that Samuel and Mara were fucking each other for, you know, ages before they were even married, while Mara was married to someone else, that shit would have spread like wildfire too. Like, gossip spreads fast in Westeros.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was high-key hoping that that's how Miria found out about Ellery's murder.
You know, I was too.
Because that would have been like extreme Kill Bill siren moment. You know, she'd have heard from some peasant like, "Hey, I heard about Lord Peak." You know, she'd have been like, "Excuse me, who? What? Yeah, no, that it was very, very good, very juicy, and it was a very Enzo method of attack.
Yeah.
Yes. So then we had, I think this was at the point it then cut to Faye with the Casella conversation.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. She like corners you in the gardens. Like, sort the shit out.
That was close. Because she was not enjoying that conversation, I don't think. I don't think either of them were.
No.
But it felt like a justified lack of trust, for sure. Now that it's broken and everything's good, fingers crossed, Faye can play both sides, but we'll see.
Dangerous game.
But yeah, she's horrifying, and Sam, you scare me.
Amazing. And then I think after that, Enzo arrived at Fox Hollow. It was a Marcia scene, so we saw it through her perspective, but she had just gotten the letter with the Tarleys declaring themselves the bosses of the Reach when Enzo walks through the door and is like, "Marcia!" And she's like, fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood.
It was not in the mood for your shit.
Yeah. Look, he was probably half pissed while he came in.
Yeah.
And he has just gone through a traumatic experience. He needed a friend. So
turns out, though, unfortunately for him, the friend was not having a bar of it because she was having a bit of a mare herself.
Yeah, just a bit.
And then it was like the whole conversation, I think, in that scene was Enzo being like, "Yeah, this is what happened. I was there, blah, blah, blah." And then you let slip about Faye. And Marcia is like, "Then who are you loyal to? You know, you split loyalties. Who is this? Who? Faye?"
Yeah. And Enzo replied the way he always replied. He's loyal to himself. It's
That's
just
not
the way he
entirely
is.
true, though, is it?
Yeah.
It's not entirely true, no. Technically, if it was an intrigue, I would have to roll a little bit of deceit.
Because even a lie of omission is a lie.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, primarily he is loyal to himself and just himself. But yeah, and she didn't like that. She didn't like whenever Faye came up, he was like, "It's none of your
Yeah.
business." It's up to. It's not for you to think. So it doesn't affect the realm. It's my personal thing. Okay, didn't like that.
I was watching that though, terrified, because I was hoping that the letter would get to her that episode. And I'm like, oh no, it's fucked up. It's fucked up already. It's not even there, and it's fucked. Oh shit. Yeah.
Was
danger.
that the episode where the book came with the
Mhm.
message?
It was, but it was later. It was a later scene.
Later scene.
Mm.
Yeah, so we might as well talk about that now, though, while we're here. Because my idea of what happened in that episode is all jumbled because my brain's not working. But yeah, so Faye got a couple of messages out of Horn Hill to Fox Hollow.
Not
Kind
all
of.
of them though. Not all of them. Not the one going PS Siege. That one got
that one
called
didn't
off,
quite
unfortunately.
get there in time.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
That
But
would've been a
unfortunately,
handy
Samuel
message.
had a meeting while she was talking to Lady Casella. So brilliant. Thanks, Sam.
Good, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
it's been really interesting writing Faye's letters, because the ones that we've seen are definitely not the only ones she's written. And there are a couple that Samuel has proofed and that have gone by Ryder. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And at the moment, until her plausible deniability kicks in, like, she has to be really careful this doesn't get tracked back to her. So it's been a really juicy challenge trying to write in a way that if somebody came across this note by whatever means, it wouldn't implicate Faye, it wouldn't implicate the person that she was sending it to, and it would make no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have enough of an in with any of the people she's writing to have a cipher going on or anything like that. And a lot of times she wouldn't have time to write like that. So figuring out how to send a message kind of in plain sight has been really, really cool.
And you've done it really, really well, in all fairness. You did it.
I feel
really,
bad for
really
you
well.
though, because I sit there for ages figuring out how to do it, and then I see somebody coming at it like blind with no warning. I'm like, oh no, I made this too hard.
In all fairness, the way you did the letters that Enzo, and I think the way you did it, Enzo and I pretty much got what you were going for quite quickly. It's a bit more awkward when you're on stream and there's pressure and you've got a scene,
for sure.
and Charlie's going, well, what does this make? How does this work? And you're like, give me a second.
It's imagery. It's like art. Come on, you just gotta feel the letter.
Yeah, it's just like, but they were written so well that I got pretty much the gist of what was being said, even straight away knowing, because I remembered how to get the secret message as well from the thing. So they were really good, really, really, really good.
I liked sending the book. When I originally pitched that idea to Sam, I was like, okay, I want to do this thing, and it's going to be written out like this, and then the words are going to be circled and letters circled throughout the book. And he went, oh, this is going to be a really challenging. This is going to be like 21 plus difficulty. And I was like, what? It's easy peasy though. You're like, no, can you imagine the number of different variations that could be in this puzzle and combination? I'm like, no, it's literally in order. You've just got to give a fuck enough to look through the book.
Yeah.
And then I may have taken out a copy of one of my Terry Pratchett books and circled words so that it said hello Sam and sent him a picture.
I love that though. I really love that, because it does play into Faye's nature though. You know, she's not a confrontational fighter. This is how she fights. And this is how she's done so well at court. Like, it's great. And the
she was very
candlelight.
Actually,
letters.
no, I should have sent a video to everybody about what it looks like, because you can literally do this. I did a lot of research into stuff like that and like low tech espionage. You can do it with apple juice. You literally just dip a pen in apple juice and write on the paper, but then you burn kind of scorch the paper with the candle, and the writing comes out in black.
Ah.
It's really cool. You can do it with all sorts of things, including pee.
Oh, okay.
He
Wow.
hasn't had to do that yet, but if you get a letter that smells a bit funny.
Go on,
I'm
Bennett.
just imagining, right? Enzo gets into the habit of being like, "Oh, it smells like apples," pulls up a
Yeah.
letter, and then he gets one. He's like, "Bleh."
Oh God. What kind of apple did she had that time? Oh.
Yeah.
The store must have been rotten.
Yeah.
Um,
A little rotten apple. Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Jeez.
fun coming up with those. There are a few more of those floating around to other
And it
people
was
as
it
well.
was nice. It was one because Sam is right. Bryn was the one who solved it, and I thought it was a nice little scene to have. You can see the relationship between Enzo and Bryn. Oh, that has developed over those 5 years because he was with Greenmont for 5
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
But, so that's a long time to develop a relationship with.
And he's
so,
a teacher. Granted,
he's-
not a teacher of that, but
yeah, and
it
he is
sticks,
kind of
right?
like a teacher,
Mhm.
and he kind of worked it through with Bryn and made sure he got all the accolades of like solving it. Well done, you did well. Just to give big up his head because he's definitely Enzo's the troublemaker, as in he encourages Bryn to expand his mind and to do things, whereas poor Marcia has to rein them both in for doing too much. I'm
imagine
convinced.
Fox Hollow with all of us. Do you remember that one brief time where all of us were there? Nightmare. Could you imagine?
Oh yeah,
what that was
100%. Because like there would have been a lot of drinking and dancing. There would have been sword fighting. 100% Enzo gave Bryn a sword to just play around with and stuff.
Do you know what? I imagine, right? Enzo gives Bryn a whole ass full size sword, and Mary's like, no, takes out, gives him a knife.
Yeah.
I did
I
think
just
love
wanted
that.
to see if he could pick it up. That's
I may have given a full broadsword to a 9-year-old recently just to see what happened. It was pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
No context given.
I just love this idea of you in the middle of the street and just going, here you go.
Sword.
Try this one.
Thanks.
That's what we call a Land Rover. See if you can make it stop.
See that? That's a BMW. They're driven by wankers.
Yeah, every
it?
BMW driver, complete wanker. Sorry if you drive a BMW, but you're a wanker. 100%.
Here's where we find out. Jay drives a BMW.
I rest my case.
I knew it. Just like state that our views do not necessarily represent those of Black Cats Gaming, and we think that Jay is lovely. Thank you. But yeah,
I have bad taste in men. The end.
I mean, where were we? Fox Hollow.
Yes.
Puzzle solved. Marty is like, what the fuck is this? Enzo, your fucking girlfriend's weird. Why is she sending me coded messages?
The way I was really hoping Marcia would get her one first and just read through it and just be like, who the fuck is Deirdre Sal? And for that to be the first time Enzo heard it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because I would have just, because immediately I would have said, well, that's my wife, because of that little thing, because all the way back into Golden Grove, that's how she was introduced as
that's why she
Sal.
chose the name.
I would imagine that like at that point Marcy's got Bryn on her lap. She's like, who the fuck is Deirdre Sal? And he goes, that's my wife. And she just puts the child aside and she's like, what?
Yeah. So it's like it didn't come. I don't think it came out, or at least if it did, I didn't really hear it or something, or Marcia didn't hear it or but yeah it was good.
That was fun.
It was
I liked putting that in because it's a nice way of saying something without saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's all what Faye's about.
I like to think that Enzo did hear it, and in his mind he went, okay, there's hope.
My wife. Extreme fucking Borat moment. But yeah, so it was like,
Oh,
hey, get a
God.
message to our grumpy uncle, Maker.
Grumple.
Grumple.
Yeah.
Grumple Maker.
Grumple maker.
I'm not afraid of him anymore. And he's called Grumple Maker. Yeah, and it was like, unfortunately, the message saying you're about to be sieged didn't make it in time.
No. She
But it
well,
did
she
have
could, she
another
literally
message.
couldn't send it. The handover for that was too hot.
Yeah.
Mm.
But she was essentially doing. I think that was part of the problem when you were trying to translate it, Tom. That because Marcy was asking you a question there wasn't really an answer to.
Yeah.
She wasn't asking for anything. She was literally
Yeah.
just going, "I offer my help."
Yeah.
But-
Essentially, she
but
was giving you. You were telling us information that you already knew. Like Stella's gone to High
Mhm.
Garden. She's gone, and you're going to need support from
Yeah.
the Targaryens. So send a letter,
Yeah.
and the fact that she is there to get information when she can. Right.
But it was essentially like, if Enzo fucks off, I am your ally, be my friend. But also, I can't send a Targaryen one of my letters because he will become enraged and want to hurt me for wasting his time. So could you please translate? Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
good.
and,
It was a nice little downtime moment too. A little bit of in the shadow of war on the doorstep. It was just a nice little domestic moment. When we see little Bryn more, he's like 5 now.
Yeah.
I love
means-
his little personality start coming out, like where he's like, "Get me a lemon cake." Oh God!
Well, he's
Put
a
your hands
5-year-old,
full
so
with that
naturally
one.
he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
With a
That's it.
knife, because Miria definitely gave him a knife
Mhm.
before she left. Yeah.
But there was another message in the letters as well that was hidden
yes.
by the thing,
Mm.
which is Faye sending out her goon to find more information.
Just like if you're a bit bored, if you fancy
You're bored. If
going
you've got
and
time,
hurting a
if you've got
dude.
time. There's a particular
Here's a
butcher that I
lead.
would like you to meet.
Meat. Ah.
Ha!
Um,
So Enzo had his quest then from his lady.
I have my quest. I do.
Because he is
And-
a fucking knight. He just doesn't want to believe it yet.
He's not a knight. And the second, right, I gotta go. And Mark's just like, what the fuck?
Do you mean you've got to go?
You
You
gotta
just
go. Well,
fucking
I
got
gotta
here.
do something. I gotta go somewhere and do some stuff. What, are you gonna tell me what it is? No. It's my business.
Yeah.
Didn't like that either. It wasn't a good start.
Marcia
Wasn't a
this
good start
season
at
is a
all.
very angry woman.
Mhm.
Angry. Very angry.
Very
indeed.
angry woman.
Mhm.
Which I know is rich coming from me, who has spent 6 seasons playing an angry woman, but she's on a different fucking level.
Mhm.
But to round out the episode, there was a conversation between Faye and Mara at Horn Hill
Oh, I love that scene.
on the little balcony.
I
which
love
was
that
like,
scene.
Push, fucking.
That was so great. I love my scenes with
By the face.
the just gloves out, gloves off, claws out. Just because I am nice in real life, and I would never talk to another human being like that. But I bloody love doing it in roleplay. That's fun.
It's really where we saw like Faye up until this point has been very civil and very measured. She's not shown any displeasure or any aggression towards her captors. But in that one conversation, she made it known to Mara that she thinks she's fucking dirt. There was absolutely no fucks given. Like Mara was here, was like, I want to be your friend, and Faye's like, bitch, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's more that like Faye won't lie about things.
Mhm.
She will be brutally honest, even if it harms people's opinions of her, because she sees that as a strength. But Mara, as far as she is concerned, is responsible for a lot of very dark, unpleasant shit, including recently taking her hostage, and that was done directly through her. But she's also responsible for leading her friend astray in her head, especially with recent developments. She's like, it's you. you did this to him. He was a nice boy. And then he got together with you and started making shit decisions. And now a load of people are dead. So I don't think she feels the need to hide that from somebody. And if you want to be my friend, be nice. Because she's aware that Mara is desperate to be liked. She's lent her a dressmaker, like back behind the scenes. We've V and I have figured out like how things are going to work, and especially with the admiration she had for the dress that Faye wore for the wedding. She's like, Faye's going to want a dressmaker. She's like, yeah, she will totally give you that. I'm like, okay, that's how this is going to work then, huh?
All right.
Like, if you want to be my friend,
They would like a sword.
well, she's already got them to agree to giving her knight a sword, which may have
That's
been
true.
unwise.
Yeah, he holds. Yeah.
In a war camp with very few defenses.
Might have been dumb. Yeah, but it was so lovely to both the big scenes that I've had with Mara have been fucking great.
Yeah.
Love delving into that, just twisting the knife on each other. Plus, she ended up asking for a favor that Faye was already going to do. So that worked out well, and she got to use it against her. It was great.
It was a great scene because it was full of like the semi-shrouded barbs and attacks that like I fucking live for in like a social intrigue where you're basically calling each other out and fucking having a scrap, but just but behind that veneer of ladyship. It was good. It was a juicy conversation. And I think from Mara's perspective, I think it did kind of make her go, oh shit, Faye is more than I anticipated. Faye is a lot more than I thought she was.
Yeah. I don't think Faye would ever want to show a full hand of like, I am an active threat to you, because that comes back to bite you.
Yeah. 100%.
She definitely wants to be like, I am angry with you. You have the opportunity to fix it.
Yeah.
Try. Go on. Good luck.
Everything is not okay. Just as a heads up, but hey, you can give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun playing a character who's that plainly spoken, because I'm shit at stuff like that in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Confrontation, no.
Yeah. Someone could be stabbing me. I'd be like, it's okay. It's up to you. No big.
I understand you've gone through a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot of, this is a lot for you, honestly. I mean, stabbing someone for the first time must be really difficult. Oh, those are my intestines, but it's okay. Yeah.
It's fine. Did they get in your way of the knife? Oh, I do.
Oh, hang on. Let me just.
Yeah.
Is that my spinal column in the way? I'll just move that for you.
There we
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel it. Yeah. I feel it. That was basically episode 2, unless there's anything I'm missing from there.
No, I think that's it. That's all I can remember.
I think so.
Here is episode 3, which was a thing. Episode 3 begin with Miria arriving at Blackmont to find that the crops are still in the field. There's no fucking small folk anywhere. The drawbridge is up. It seems like a fucking ghost town. Her and the Order are just like, this is weird. And she's like, this is weird. Everyone's kind of on edge. Her hand's on her fucking sword. Like she's like, she's riding along. Comes to the gate, drops down. They're like, who are you? And one of her fucking knights announces her as Lady Miria Sand of Ironwood. And she's like,
God, yeah. Wrong.
Which, I mean, she's got to start using the title is the problem. If she doesn't use the title, no one's going to refer to her as the title.
The thing
it's part
is,
of
maybe
making
not
it look legitimate.
That specific moment. Maybe
not at that specific moment. But also for her to factor in, she's in front of her men, right? She can't be wishy-washy with who she wants to be at a given time. She is now Miria Sand of Ironwood. Like, no matter what happens, that is who she is now. So they eventually let her in, but only Miria in. Which I was like, oh. And I did have Sam did give me an opportunity to be like, I would like some backup, please. But I was like, nah, she's trying to, do her thing. So she's like, no, hold the line, gentlemen. I will be right back. Goes in, meets Maester Yobert.
Yeah, Yobert.
We love Gilbert. And he's like, hello, my lady. And she's like, hello? Where is everyone? This is strange. Where's Ellery? And he's like, you might want to sit down. And her little heart in that moment just fucking plummeted. Like, she was like, oh no. So she sits down and she's like, what? She doesn't do well sitting down, not doing things. So, like, that on top of the news she was about to receive is very bad for her. She finds out that Ellery was murdered at Horn Hill. And I mean, I've talked tons of times about like how Miria would react upon that news, and I've gone through all sorts of things from being like she's gonna immediately like fucking lash out and punch a wall, or she's gonna yell and scream, or she will be strangely calm and quiet. And in the moment when she received that news, I just felt crushing grief for her. Like it all just went boof, crumpled in. Because although we haven't really seen it much on screen, because we didn't really have much of an opportunity to show it much, Miria did love Ellery. Like, in a way, you know, she would have been happy to marry him. She would have been proud to have his children. Like, she would have been very happy with Ellery. Like, she wasn't forced into that marriage. Like, it was semi a marriage to shore up Blackmont, but it was also, she really liked him. They spent a lot of time getting to know each other. They courted for years. So hearing that he'd been killed, crushed her. It was bad. It was painful, but she doesn't have any time to dwell on it because here comes the men-at-arms from Peak being like, this shit is getting out of hand very quick. We don't have enough men here. The situation is bad. There is no Lord Ellery. What are we gonna do? Like, what is the next step? Because if we don't get anything, I'm gonna take my boys and we're gonna go ride for Blackfyre. And she's like, okay, let's hold on, let's calm down, let's try and figure out. She's trying to like hold her shit together and not cry and like just give in to the grief in front of these dudes that she barely knows. She's trying to have this ladylike presence, and she eventually figures out that now's my chance to give Blackmont back to my family. So Blackmont back to the Blackmonts, to my cousin Raymar, who is also prisoner at fucking Horn Hill. And we're going to take the Peak boys, and we're going to make our way to Starpike. We're going to reinforce, and then we have the Peak army with the Blackfyres too. But it was like a really tough time for her there because just everything happened at once. And she still now hasn't even hadn't had the time to process what has happened. She hasn't had time to process that Ellery's dead, that Blackmont is now back to her Blackmont, that Peaks are going to be riding with them. And then as she goes to Fox Hollow, she finds an army there, and she's like, fuck, what now? What fucking now? You know, like, this is going to be bad as it is. Like, it was always going to be difficult coming through here with Blackfyre, and now there's a fucking army here to complicate matters. So she goes into Fox Hollow. Martzi is there, and she's like, it's the middle of the night. She's sat on the dais, and she is not there. Like, she's not fucking having a bar of any of it. Miria comes in, and I will be straight up that Miria was there to help Fox Hollow. Like, her intention was there to stay good on the promise that she had made Marcia and Bryn, that she would protect them and that she would look after them. But she came in the door, and Marcia's like, the fuck are you doing here? She's like, hello? I'm here. Hi, it's been a while. I've come back to help. And Marcia's like, get fucked. She's like, I don't want it. I don't want any of you. I don't want any of that. No. And I can't even fully remember that conversation because I was just so in the roleplay at the moment that it was just two extremely angry, hurt women yelling at each other. And Miria's like, you don't want me? Fine. I'm fucking gone. And she leaves. To find that the Greenmont forces had launched a surprise attack on the Karen forces, which I think, personally speaking, was the stupidest fucking thing Marcia could have done. That was...
Plays into the hands. I mean, it's very her, but it plays into what... Because that whole thing is, like, make the other guy look bad. make them feel like so I can sell the sob story of like, oh no, we were just waiting. We weren't doing anything aggressive. They hit us. They started it.
Yeah.
I loved her way of doing it. That was so cool.
I mean, at this point too, Miria had no idea that Marcia had slaughtered the messenger that had come to parley with them. She had no idea that that messenger was hanged and was hanging from the battlements of Fox Hollow at that time point. Because if that was the case, Miria would have been like, whoa, the fuck are you doing? That in itself is a declaration of war. Like, the fact that she did that and House Karen didn't immediately go, okay, we weren't going to siege you, but now get fucked, lady.
Can you imagine her seeing it as she leaves? She goes out the front door and she's like, what the fuck? Mom?
That's 100% what I think happened. So Miria rides out, she sees it, she's like, oh fuck. And then the Greenmont men just go, ah!
Oops.
Like, I understand that Marcia is a very angry woman, a very hurt woman. The Tarleys have fucked her over, as they have several other people. But she is, and I think this is what Miria was trying to get across to her in the conversation, that Miria, more than anyone, has reason to hate the Tarleys for everything they have done, especially when she just found out that they had murdered Ellery. Like, she's like, oh, I fucking know they're garbage, but right now we can't give in to our immediate need for revenge at them because this will lead us to doing something stupid, which will ultimately cause our downfall. Like, Miria right now would love nothing more than to go up to Summerhall, like, hi Samwell, bye Samwell, but that is not the smart play. And Miria, for all her faults, has learned that you can't just be bam, 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 bam. She played the long game trying to get to fucking Boss's Chops down in Summerhall. Like, she pretended to be someone else for a long time. She was gonna bang his fucking son to get to him. You know, like, she was gonna play that long game to get to Marin Martell. And she was trying to express to Marcia that the Tarleys will have their day, but you have to stop and think right now. Don't give in to that anger. And unfortunately for Marcia, she gave in to that anger. She's been pushed and pushed and pushed, and she snapped. Unfortunately, I feel like, obviously we don't know yet, nothing has been resolved, that this will not end well for Greenmont, because Karen had 200 men alone just on the southern side of the castle. Like, that's 200 men right there. That's Greenmont forces just on one side of the castle to easily reinforce the northern side should anything happen. So she's launched her attack on the north. Go on, Millie.
And if the Summerhall thing next week goes okay for the Tarley forces, then Ambrose, is it Ambrose? No, Caswell is going to be heading down to reinforce. So
well, that's the thing, right? If you're under siege, you don't do shit until you know you've got backup coming.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be real, like, they weren't really being sieged. Like, sure enough, an army was parked on the lawn. Not great. Honestly, not great. Not going to pretend that's not a not aggressive act. That is an aggressive act from the Tarleys. They posited an army there. But they weren't stopping food and goods coming in. They weren't stopping people coming in and out. It wasn't a siege. It was, we're just going to sit here so you can't join the battle.
It was glamping with intent again.
Yeah.
It's a theme developing.
It was the Westerosi battle equivalent of, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, her attacking played right into their hands, because now Karen have an excuse to just go through and demolish Fox Hollow. But Miria is there, and she rides out and she sees this happening, and her orders to her men are, stop this as soon as you can, take prisoners, disarm men wherever you can, do not let this become a bloodbath. Because Miria's intent, here's her actual intent, chat, is not whatever it is you've dreamed up, is her intent, is to help Fox Hollow, but she has to reconcile both the fact that Fox Hollow is full of people that she has, Marcia and Bryn, that she said she would protect, but she also knows that if Blackfyre fails, she's fucked, because Miria has tied her colors to that mast. And if Blackfyre goes down, she's not going to be able to just walk away. Like, she has to make sure Blackfyre wins, because her head's on the chopping block. She's dead. So her aim here is to force a surrender or a ceasefire as quickly as possible, then get herself between Karen and Marcia and make sure that Karen doesn't go, all right, I'm taking your fucking head. Like, she wants to protect Marcia, even though she has killed a couple of Greenmont men. It is ultimately in the goal to save more lives. Which is, it's because she's stuck in that middle position. Like, there is no easy choice for her here.
I feel like a lot of us are playing that side of warfare where you think you're the good guy, that I'm trying to preserve life.
Yeah.
I think Samuel's doing it as well. He says that's his reasoning, and I think partly it is.
Yeah.
I kind of believe it. But it's interesting seeing that coming from Miria's side, where it's a slightly different area. It's not like the Reach proper. And you are caught in that moral dilemma between two sides of your own family, which must be interesting.
It's a tough one, because especially for Miria, with her relationship with Greenmont, she holds a lot of resentment to Greenmont, especially biological members of Greenmont, because Simon shunned her, you know, when it was convenient, Mara fucking dropped her. Lucas never regarded her much as a daughter, even, you know, when she thought she was Lucas's daughter. He wasn't even there to see her leave for Summerhall. Like, he wasn't even there to watch her go.
In all fairness, it was because Lucas, I think, kind of semi-blamed Miria for Thingy's death, right?
For her mother's death.
So every time he looked at Miria, it reminded him of.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that he specifically hated her and purposely. It's just that it was the grief that he couldn't deal with, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, because, you know, Miria's whole thing is that everyone's like, oh, you're just like your mother. And she's like, I don't fucking know her. Stop comparing me to her.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, but that to a child, they're not going to get the nuance that it's too painful to look at you because you remind me of a woman I loved, rather than, oh my God, he fucking hates me. What am I doing wrong? Which is, it was Miria's entire childhood. But yeah, so Greenmont, the only people at Greenmont that Miria ever really truly like latched onto weren't Greenmont people at all. Like, she and Marcia got along so well when Marcia arrived at the house before Miria was taken, because Marcia didn't have that baggage. You know, like, there wasn't that baggage of, oh, this is Elisa's daughter. To Marcia, it's just Miria. It's just how Miria is. And she let her, you know, when she came back from Ironwood the first time, be the little militant fucker that she was, and train with the dudes and walk around in armor and trousers all day and fucking, you know, drill spear till 2 a.m. in the morning. She didn't go, you can't do that anymore because you're a lady. She was like, she's gonna do that shit. We're just gonna let her tire herself out. She'll be
yeah.
So it's a very tough one, because Miria absolutely does love Marcia, but she can't reconcile the woman she loves as a mother and the shit she's doing. So it's a very, very tough position, and I can't wait for Miria to have some downtime at some point soon, so she can be like, holy fuck, everything.
Come for cocktails with Faye. Let's just get lost somewhere for an episode.
Can we? I tell you what.
I don't know, Sam. Can we?
Tell you what, Millie. You bust out of the camp at Summerhall. You run towards Starpike. Ex-fiance's castle. It's lovely. Been there a couple of times. Bring some boys. Attractive boys. We can have some wine. I'll bring some Dornish Red. I'll bring some of that up. We'll just have
bring some Dornish boys, please, because Faye's track record with choosing men is not great.
With Order of the Blood Royal, all of them stone cold foxes. Every single one.
I love
Sam says no.
Canon now.
No, only suffering.
Oh.
Sam. Hi, this is Susie here. I play Miria. I've suffered for 6 seasons. 6 seasons, Sam.
Hangover.
It's like 2 years. Can I have one happy moment, please? Thanks.
What if we have cocktails and a lovely time, and then I let some information slip at the end, and she stabs me through the heart in front of Enzo?
That would be a good one. Yeah.
Would that work for you, Sam? Computer says no.
Computer says no.
Now, I mean everything you said there, Susie, absolutely bang on. You know, like you said, it was a stupid move to attack everyone. It really was. But everything you said from there was from a Miria point of view.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm not going to lie, that was a whole Miria point of view because I play Miria.
Remember at the start we said we were completely biased. Now, obviously, I don't know what was going really through Charlie's head at the time. I can only speculate. But from a Marcia point of view, you've got to see it from hers that Miria, after she was gone for a long time, came back. They became close. Miria left again, abandoning Fox Hollow.
Well,
and abandoning Fox Hollow.
I didn't really have a
Susie.
choice on that one, though, to be fair, because when a queen tells you to do something, you don't actually have a choice.
That's true. But you didn't have to go for the claim of Ironwood and basically shun off all of your Greenmont ties.
That's fair.
In addition to that, you join the Blackfyre Rebellion, which you know Marcia cannot support at all because Maekar has her son. So even if she wanted to support Blackfyre, she can't so she has to basically make a stand and show to Maekar, because you know how angry he gets, particularly with the blooming son that's currently at Summer Hall. That they're making a stand that they are for Targaryens. Now, I fundamentally 100% agree with you. The killing of the messenger was really silly, stupid. I remember Charlie was saying, I'm surprised that Enzo didn't tell her to stop to kill the messenger. And I went, Enzo's not a general. It's your house. If you want to kill someone, kill someone. I'm not going to tell you what to do in your own home. And so, and that's, you know, I couldn't really help with any of that because Enzo's not a general. He's not a general. He's not a soldier. He, you know, if Alfred was there, that would have been a different matter. He could have helped strategically. He could have helped in other words. But with Enzo, it's just above his pay grade.
I'd imagine he's kind of used to more ship command side of things. And when you're more isolated, like he's talked to Faye a few times briefly about, you know, people trying to stab you in the back on the ship. And he took a long walk off a short plank. It's very like, oh, you fuck with me? Okay, bye.
Yeah,
onwards.
I mean, So Enzo tends to, the way he kind of portrays it is that he tends to make the crew like him enough so they won't stab him in the back. So he's very charismatic. He's very persuasive. He basically persuades them to say, keep me in charge and you will reap the benefits. And he makes sure that they do get benefits because there's only so much words can do. And that's how he ran his ship. You know, he's not a great tactical mind. He's the face. And that's pretty much it. So obviously when it actually comes to war and fighting, he's not very good. He hasn't got the faintest idea. He's good at getting away because he's done it multiple times. Not just in Westeros, but in actual previous stories that I've came up with. He has gotten away from sticky situations. He's pretty good at it.
Seasoned fleer.
Yes, seasoned fleer. He likes the more kind of like, you know, like flamboyant escapist, you know, kind of thing. But so with that, and again, I think you have to take in Marcia's mental state and the shit that's happened to her and Greenmont for the past few years, with a lot of armies just setting up on her lawn and saying, well, you know, like, this is where we're gonna be now. And she's like, no, this is my fucking land. Get off. Right? I mean,
and not just any army.
And not just an army
commanded
sent
by the guy who put her on trial and tried to get her killed.
Yes, exactly. So that, again, all emotions. And again, this is all speculation. I don't know what Charlie felt. This could be but this is just speculation from my point of view. It came up to it and everything. And it's like, It is. It's about that kind of like, this is my land. Who the fuck do you think you are? This is my house. You dare come on my land and do this shit. I think, and pretty much, if you think about it, like, let's just say the roles reversed. Miria's in charge of House Greenmont. I don't think Miria would have put up with that shit. Now, I'm not suggesting that she would have done the suicidal charge that Marzia would have done. I think she would have been more tactical. I think she would have thought about it more. Maybe like guerrilla fighting and wear them down every night, you know, like little strikes here and there. But she wouldn't just rest on her laurels and just let it happen. But that's where the whole, because Marzia, again, isn't a tactical character in military concerns. She's much more kind of like political and intriguey and magic-y. And so basically, I think Marzia and Miria would have done the exact same thing, but just differently. And I think that's the difference in it.
So here's the thing, right? Here's what Miria would have done in this situation. She would not have killed the envoy. She would have heard their terms. At the first sign of an army arriving, because they don't just show up one day and surprise you, messages would have been sent to all of her allies being like, there is a sieging force here. Backup would be nice. Thank you very much. And then upon receipt of, okay, we hear you, we're going to send someone, then she would have taken action. Because again, like I said, you don't act against someone in a siege unless you know you have backup coming.
In all fairness, Marzia didn't get the chance to do that. I mean, technically she should have, because she had the whole archers sent off to Horn Hill to shoot, and I'm pretty sure those archers would have saw an entire army coming down to thing. So in her defense in that part, technically she should have had a heads up, and she could have sent a message. We didn't get that in the thing. It was literally like they're there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But okay, so if Mary didn't even have that opportunity, it would like you said, she wouldn't have done the Zerg rush suicide mission. Because again, Marzia is not a military commander, and Miria would have counseled Marzia and been like, don't do this, had that conversation gone completely differently. Had Marzia wanted to hear a word Miria was saying. I understand where Marzia was coming from. Miria did disappear for a long time, and then she just rolls back in and is like, hi, I'm with the Blackfyres. But that, again, shouldn't have been news to Marzia. She knew. Miria told her 2 seasons ago when she had that vision of the Blackfyres coming across. She's like, good. I hope the Targaryens fucking burn to death. They're garbage. And I understand they have her son. But for Miria, Marzia being a Targaryen loyalist, even though they have her child, is a huge betrayal of her father's. That she imagines that those 2 guys, Lucas and Oliver, are spinning in their fucking grave seeing what the house has become. Being that the house bows and scrapes and Maekar Targaryen, they would be furious. She sees it as a huge disgrace to the Greenmont name. But again, she has to reconcile that with Marzia, and she knows that Marzia is not her father's. Marzia is not a Greenmont. Is the fundamental thing here. She is as strong and devout. She bears the name, but she is not by blood a Greenmont, which I know is rich coming from Miria, who herself doesn't believe herself to be a Greenmont at the time being. So it's a very, very difficult situation. It's definitely not as black and white as, oh, Miria should have done this and she should never have done this. There was no way for her to have any part in that scene without something bad or something grey happening. And yeah, she attacked Greenmont men, but ultimately by doing that, we don't know yet, resolving roles, she may have saved Fox Hollow entirely. Because if Marzia is going to keep sending waves of guys, then there's going to be no one to defend the small folk. And sending your men on a suicide mission is not how you protect your people. It's how you lash out, and it's how you very angrily say, get the fuck off my land. But it's not how you protect your people. So, and also another thing with that episode is I was not feeling great. I was sick. My head was cloudy, and I came away from that episode being like, fuck, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
Though,
I
I wasn't thinking, like my head was just fucking cotton wool. So I was just reacting, and I wasn't reacting, I don't think 100% true to Miria, but it's one of those things that happens. You can't have banger sessions every time.
That's it. Yeah.
She's been traveling a lot. Like she's been knackered, and she's had a very stressful realization recently. And
that's the thing. Like Matsu's not thinking straight. Miria's not fucking thinking straight. And right now she's in survival mode. That fuck, everyone I like is dead or dying or no longer wants to be around me. If this rebellion fails, I'm fucking dead. And Fox Hollow is a strategic position, and it is a huge Targaryen banner house. So Fox Hollow surrendering, because let's be clear, Miria doesn't want Fox Hollow razed to the ground. She doesn't want Marta and Brynn dead. She just wants them to surrender and out of the fight. That's all she wants. She wants them out of the fight because she doesn't want to see them die. So she's it's a tricky spot. And that's how we ended the episode, with Miria charging out and trying to stop this fight before it escalates and ends up taking the whole castle. And I will say we're gonna have a little mini roll off to see what happens off screen.
Well, there were other things that happened.
Oh yeah, there were other things that happened. Marty did a big magic.
A little bit of magic. Yeah. And kicked you off the horse.
Yeah. Which is fucking crazy, considering Marty was struggle busing to possess a deer in one episode, and now she's spooked 50 elite trained horses.
That's fucking.
It was so cool. It sucked.
That was
that was really
thing,
clever.
Though. That was didn't she have to do something 21 up or something to get it?
It was it was a pretty big check.
She blasted it though.
It was a pretty big check.
I don't think she'll be doing that anytime soon. Her brain is probably just just sizzled,
Right? I'm surprised her face just didn't erupt in blood with the fucking effort,
kind of thing, yeah. I mean, that's holy shit.
Yeah. She did use her feet to re-roll it, so we'll.
It was 27, was it?
It was a big check.
My
big fucking
God!
check.
I thought it was 21. I misheard it. 27. That's just incredible.
So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, she's with that one thing, she's already way more powerful than Bran.
Yeah, well, Bran's just sucks anyway.
I mean, he's a three-eyed raven.
Yeah, but he sucks. Let's be honest. He's kind of crap. And yeah. And so and then obviously Enzo. I fundamentally believe if Enzo was there that first meeting, things would have been different.
Yeah.
He would have given everyone a drink. It would have gone beyond just shouting of insults, and then Miria storming off in a huff.
I was fucking dismissed. She was like, "Get out of my hall." I'm like, "All right, bye."
I think he could have possibly made it so that stuff like that didn't happen. But deep down, that's my optimistic view. But deep down, I don't think it made a fucking flying bit of difference.
I think every noble house needs either an Enzo or a Faye. Somebody to go, "Okay, kids, let's just stop for a second and take a breath. You go and eat something. You're clearly hungry." They need an intermediary.
So Mr. Runaway, as he was running away with the Lord of Fox Hollow, he did decide, because so Marty essentially asked him to take Brynn away to go to Highgarden for safety, right? So he went, why don't you come with me? We can get you both out. Pretty cool. I mean, you can just say that the guards will fight for a little bit, close the gates, then surrender, and you could have gone. Never in a million years going to happen. I knew that, but you got to ask, right? It's just polite. You got to, So obviously so Brynn's away from Fox Hollow now, and heading to Highgarden, hopefully, and then obviously Enzo, because he's mates with Miria. He likes Miria. They've bonded quite a lot over these past 5 years. They're really nice. And you said, right, a lot of people that I really like are gonna get killed, and there seems to be a running theme here. I'm gonna lose a lot of friends. That people I like, and there's not many people I really like in Westeros, so I gotta keep them. So obviously, naturally, he rides like the hero he is. He rides into the fight.
Yeah, it's very heroic. Yeah.
Jaunting around to try and persuade So try and persuade Miria. Well, first he tries to persuade Miria to persuade Karen to stop the fight, and then he just wants Miria out, right? So you don't have to fight. They're gonna fight, but you don't have to. You can just go and just wait it out. See, kind of like essentially, I don't want you to die, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want you killing your own men that you have trained with and shared with and everything like that. Don't do it. But in the heat of battle and all that jazz and the blood.
Well, that's it, right? Because he finds Miria literally holding on to one of her fucking men to hold a line. And yeah, like he comes and is like, tell Karen to stop. And she's like, he's not gonna fucking stop if Greenmont keeps coming. Like, that's not gonna happen. Unless she surrenders, this isn't gonna stop because he's gonna defend himself and then push up to stop any more attacks. Like, I can't just go down there and be like, look, Lord Karen, can you ask all your boys to sit down and have a cup of tea whilst the Greenmont men slaughter you? Because he's gonna say, no, fuck off.
Yeah, because that's where the basically the Enzo's tactical naivety came through, because all he's seeing is a fight, right? He's not seeing a big battle. He's in the present, as we've said before. Enzo lives in the present because that's how he survives, and he's thinking, how do I make sure that my friend, both of them, survive till the next morning? I know. Let's get them out of the fight. Stop the fight. Get them out, and stuff like that. And that's all he's thinking. He's not thinking about the bigger picture. He's not thinking about the war or anything. He's just thinking, save this house at this moment so they live to see another day.
It's like breaking up a scrap in a pub.
Pretty
leave
much.
him, Gary. It's not worth it.
Damn it.
Yeah. So he obviously. So then obviously he does it. It's futile. Again, I knew when I went down there it was futile, but it's just something that he would have done. Very quickly.
And even asking Miria to get out of the fight was never gonna happen, because if she had stepped out of the fight and Karen won, slaughtered everyone in Fox Hollow, she would never live with herself. Like, she would be devastated if that had happened. Like, she couldn't. She would be fucking devastated if that had happened. Her idea of it, inserting herself into here, is try and get to be that force between the slaughter and the ones that want to do the slaughter because they've just been attacked. And Miri is a woman of action. She's not going to go there and be like, well, everybody stop. Let's play some football. In no man's land. It's war is over. John Lennon's here. He's got his guitar. Like, that's
Time out.
That would never work either. Like, if I had gone down there and Miria had been like, everybody stop fighting, they'd have been like, who the fuck are you?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't exactly that's what he was wanting to do.
Yeah.
It was more like, you ride off to where Karen is and then explain the situation, and then he can signal the withdrawal, like tactical withdrawal, and then the Greenmonts would tire themselves out, head back into the castle and stuff like that. Again, naivety of Enzo. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how it would work. Yeah, he doesn't. So he does that, and he says something. I genuinely can't even remember what I said when I rode off. I don't know. I think I tried to. It was like, you're going to kill your own family and friends. Yeah. Well done. But kind of thing. Yeah. Like, and then he went off. Yeah. And that's how it ended, I think.
That is how it ended, with Enzo getting the last word and riding away, and Miria being like, well,
fuck.
No, well, fuck. I mean, again, if she gets a chance for some downtime at any point, she's going to be like, what the fuck? What have I just done? What is happening?
Yeah. The aftermath.
Very much like the conversation between Samuel and Faye. Am I doing the right thing? Oh, it's Samuel and Mara. Is this the right thing? And she's gonna have these questions. I mean, she was always gonna have these questions because, I mean, Fox Hollow was never gonna be Blackfyre. Not in this timeline where Oliver is dead. So yeah, it was always gonna be tough. But yeah, so that was Siege of Fox Hollow. I need to pee, so I'm going to ask you two if you can... Oh, all right, what we'll do...
no.
Tom, can you keep everyone occupied?
Look
Tell
at
us
the Zora.
Tell us a little bit.
I tell you what. No,
Go
no.
on.
We'll tag team it, right? You pee
Okay.
first because
All
you
right,
needed
and
to
then I'll be right
first.
back.
I'll talk to Tom. I'll
Okay.
babysit, and
I'll be
then
right
you
back.
come back and we'll swap, right?
Hey, man.
Hi.
You right?
This is gonna go splendidly. So I would like to think that the entire ride from Fox Hollow to Highgarden is Enzo like trying to do it under his breath, just muttering curse words about bloody Westerosi idiots.
Yeah, it's close. It's very
Lemmings.
close. It's because now obviously we both have children we have to take care of, which sucks.
How?
The two adults at this present moment that probably don't want children and shouldn't have children at this present moment.
I think Faye needs children.
Well,
in the current situation.
Eventually, yes, she does. Because I don't know who else is.
There is nobody.
Rowan, that's it. That's it. 'Cause the high
Yeah,
die.
she's the last
house
Rowan, I
dies
think.
with. Yeah. Bloody hell, that's depressing, isn't
No
it?
pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. But how do you feel about being, like, are you attached to your last name? And so, just as a thought.
You just need an heir. You can do that.
Well,
the heir can take the name.
I'm not sure how that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, it would be
legitimizing bastards is the thing.
Yeah,
I
it
guess,
would be a
but,
bastard, wouldn't it? It would.
But
it would
all,
be kind
but
of like...
yeah, I think she's seen what happens when you do that, and it leads to nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to be legitimate somehow. So I don't fancy her chances, to be honest. But, but yeah, they've ended up in this weird babysitters club.
They have. I've kind of envisioned the journey with Enzo to Highgarden. It's kind of like how do I put it? So essentially, he's going to go to Bryn, right? Bryn, you're not Lord of Greenmont, all right? You're just Bryn. And he's going to muddy him all up.
Oh.
And he's essentially going to, like do the whole remember, right? Speak a little more common like the commoners do. And we'll get you there. And if anyone asks, I don't know, we found you on a farm or something and we're taking you to safety or whatever, and the idea is that he's going to go off the roads. He's not going to take the roads. He's going to use his companions and he's going to guide us, because I don't think Highgarden is that far from Fox Hollow.
No, it's pretty close. It's a few days ride, I think.
So, and they've all got horses, because we made sure I had that. Although even if Enzo doesn't like horses, and he's like, I've got ideas, right? I've got ideas. When he reaches Highgarden, it very depends on what Highgarden is like, because Marcia said, she basically said to keep Bryn safe and take him to Highgarden to keep him safe, right? Enzo heard keep Bryn safe. So it depends on the situation at Highgarden and what's going on there.
Hey, Lady Casella, remember how you really wanted to look after this ward? Guess what?
Right. Yeah.
Best friends. Okay, bye.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, because I've got other things to do.
I know.
I've got other jobs.
Make him your squire. Make him your little torturer's assistant. You can hold the implements.
I don't want a squire.
No. Nobody wants.
Again, that's just another thing that he has to pay attention from himself, keeping himself alive. If he has to worry about someone else keeping them alive, that's attention that could be used on myself. So, yeah.
Topic number one.
Yeah, of course.
Right. I'm tapping
Your
out.
turn. Tag.
All right.
Yay. Tag. Toilet tag.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
I really wish that Enzo and Maria would have had like a proper conversation that wasn't in the heat of the battle, because they had so much they needed to talk about. So much to catch up on with each other, because I feel like Enzo was really one of the few people at Fox Hollow that saw the real Maria. with her like weird anxieties and neuroses and fucking
Yeah.
issues and shit. And they were good buds, right?
They were really good buds, you know. They were like they had a great time over the years. They were all together, and basically because I don't know if I don't know if you do it this way, but essentially Enzo didn't want anything from Miria. He didn't care if she was a lady or anything. He just talked to Miria, who she was, and he's like that with pretty much everyone. You know, it's just sad. In addition to that, we don't get many scenes together. I don't think over the whole 6 seasons we've barely had. Shit, I don't think we didn't have a scene together until Enzo.
No. Mary and Alfred never interacted on screen.
They never interacted whatsoever. And at the tourney, we had only a handful.
Yeah, because there was that whole thing with Enzo getting Miria her armor.
Yeah. Does she still have that armor?
I think so.
I like to think, yeah.
I think she's kept it with her. I think it's probably what she's wearing. It's probably just been upgraded a little bit.
Yeah, just actually kind of like a bit better quality.
Like more fitted to her rather than just.
Yeah, yeah. Of a vague estimation of what it could be.
She had the big fucking Westerosi style helmet, so she's in like the Dornish armor and a fucking bucket helmet.
Yeah. Hey, you said you wanted a full face thing, and he got you a full face.
Yeah.
You know. See, there were simpler times.
There were simpler times.
Great, that was.
Yeah. Helmet didn't save me from getting cracked in the face by Sam Walker.
No.
Ooh.
Tried.
He could have killed me that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I
very
thought
nearly
he was.
did.
I genuinely thought he was going to kill you.
Don was prepared to. Don was messaging me.
I didn't think Miria was going to back down. Yeah. I didn't think Miria was going to back down. I thought she was going full in all the way, right? Yeah. I genuinely thought she was going to do it. And when you got defeated, I thought, this is it. This is the moment where she just basically keeps going. And Samuel has no choice but to cut her in half.
Yeah.
And I was shocked when you stopped. I really was.
It crossed my mind to fake a yield and then sand in the eye, stab. But I knew, like, in the back of my head, I knew statistically that there was no way that I could fucking one-tap Samuel with a fake yield and that Miria was one wound away from death. And if he had hit her again, even if she had absorbed most of it, she would have died because he had the fucking vicious quality, which automatically just gives a wound anyway every time it hits. And he was hitting every time. So I knew that he would just fucking kill her next time. And it made sense in terms of the fiction for her not to do that because A, it was a Tawny. As much as she fucking didn't want to be anywhere near Samuel and despised him, she still wouldn't have gone for the killing blow at Tawny. And also she knew she was outmatched by Samuel. Like, Miria knew that this was a fight was too big for her.
I don't think many characters are a match for Samuel currently. You know, that is...
It went well in the end, you know. I got an audience with the
Yeah,
Queen.
it was
I got to do my fucking I am the mystery knight moment. And it was like, hair. Like a shampoo commercial.
I like to think it was like anime with the flip and the little bits of moisture in there. Yeah.
And she like wipes her brow, like heaving, you know, effort.
Yeah, a little smudge of dirt that highlights her cheekbones, you know.
Yeah. A little bit of, you know, the attractive blood that women are allowed to bleed, like maybe a little bit out the corner of the mouth.
That's it. Instead of half a face covered, you know, that it should be. You know?
It's like missing teeth and a split lip. Like,
didn't he break your nose or something?
He cracked her jaw. So he went up and under with the sword and cracked her right here. So she's got a scar at the bottom of her chin because he just fucking like smashed her teeth in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like,
gummy now.
Hello. Hi.
Just big eyes.
Well, that was after the Tawny, right? Like, Marzia was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, healing her up, being like, I can't believe you fucking did that. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? And Miriam's like, yes.
Always
it was.
totally worth it.
Um,
Worth it.
All right.
Right, I'm going to tag you in, Susie, or
Okay.
Millie back in, because I need to go to the toilet. So
Yeah.
carry on
Yes.
without me.
You got to pee in shifts.
In shift.
This is the dedication to this chat show.
We are extremely dedicated. So we're onto the final episode that we have had so far. Not the final episode, final episode, because I wouldn't have said that so happily if that was the case. Oh, get ready for the post season 6 after the fire, people, because there will be tears. I know, because I'm an emotional mess. So in the final episode, I'll cry.
Yeah, I haven't even been here for half the time it's been running, not even close, and I can't even deal with thinking about it. We've already bullied Susie into potentially GMing a new Game of Thrones, a Song of Ice and Fire campaign.
Folks, don't get too excited. Nothing is confirmed. We are definitely we have not officially confirmed that we're doing stuff. It's just a joke among us right now that I am being bullied.
I mean, it's not a joke that she's being bullied. She's literally being bullied by every single member of the cast at this point, pretty much. So, feel free to join in.
But as with everything to do with After the Fyre in this little gaming group, we have family meetings where we literally do call them family meetings because we're all a little family. Where we will sit and talk about what we want to do. Because, I mean, it could be that we don't even play Game of Thrones again for the next game. If we have a next game, it's up to whatever folks want to do. So just a little peek behind the curtain. Nothing is confirmed yet, but I have been thinking up titles.
I definitely haven't already gone through the book and built my character idea. Definitely haven't, because that would be silly.
I want
a campaign that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, she's definitely not chaotic nasty, as Tom dubbed the idea.
What alignment are you? Chaotic nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Maria goes east. I was thinking, what do you think about Daunish Heat? As a title.
It's half an hour of describing levels of sweat.
The Mills and Boons novel.
It's glistening.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. The glistening pectorals and, ample bosoms.
Yeah. The pain that Susie puts us through will be the journey to the water gardens where we have to have a civil conversation. And then...
No. You'll get your nice little moment at the start and then it'll all fall apart.
No. Good. I really want to play, having played Faye, who's very, very nice and has a lot of willpower, and Tyler, who's very, very nice and didn't have a lot of willpower. I want to mix it up a bit and play a complete asshole who doesn't give a shit about anyone and has low willpower and is just like, yeah, influence me. Let's see what happens.
Let me tell you, as someone who has played an absolute fucking horrendous Westerosi bitch, it is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good time. Just to play someone who is absolutely not you, but you if you are dialed up to 9,000% your worst impulses.
Yeah. That. Basically everything they told me not to do when I started studying psychology, that.
Yeah. It's good shit. It's great shit. I did love it. It was like, we're going to be playing a game of chicken in this campaign if we play it. And I was like, I won't lose.
It's going to be like, oh, we're going to have to draw up bingo cards for all the NPCs. It's like, if you bang them all, if you can make a straight line through your bingo card, you get to shout.
Oh God. No, I mean, it's not just again, in this hypothetical campaign, which is not confirmed, it would not just be a bang fest around Dawn, because that's not where the juice is. There has to be conflict. There has to be.
What are you saying?
I said what I said.
How are we allowed to be adults?
I don't know.
How is this permitted?
Why am I given a platform?
Twitch saw this out. What's happening?
Sam and James give me money for this.
They gave you access to the Follow Black Cat's account. It's not even on your account. You're fine.
But Yeah, then there has to be something broader going on rather than just
Yeah.
one
Oh, yeah.
immediate, like, you know, weekend
Yeah.
at Bernie's, weekend at the Water Gardens.
We're
That
talking
would be
about the
good, though.
campaign that's definitely not going to happen straight after this one, Tom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I missed anything.
No.
Cool.
And Millie just
No.
told the chat to bully me to make sure it happens. So
Okay, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure how much of a break I could deal with after this before my brain just starts like ticking. like there's too
Like a
much going on.
bomb.
I need to figure something out, and yeah, it might just go
Well-
off, or I'll start being Faye in real life. Nobody needs
no.
that.
I'm whatever we do. So there will be future games after this season with all of us. I like to think. I mean, I know these two are definitely in, and I'm sure a good few others as well are. Whatever it is, whether it's a Song of Ice and Fire or something else, we haven't decided yet. But it would be nice because obviously and I was talking to Millie about this. Millie basically hasn't made a character of her own yet. Now she's made Faye her own, but that was already an NPC. And I've been chatting to Millie about what she has ideas for. And I'm equally terrified and excited at the same time. It's
Especially given what your ideas are.
Yeah. It's gonna be I don't know the word. It's gonna be something.
Millie's already given us chaotic nasty.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was Tom's wording.
That was my phrase for it. Chaotic nasty.
Which I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Tom just wants to paint a fucking target on his back, apparently.
That's what I did. Yeah, so yeah. So
I'm ready.
because I knew what they were all going for, so I went right. let's have some fun. So I have my character is again. I'm not going to say what it is, but it is a juicy target.
It's
a very juicy target.
It's a very fun concept. But again, I would just like to stress none of this is confirmed or official. This is just because we are all incredibly fucking invested and we cannot stop ourselves. Just as a heads up there, friends. Yes. Anyway, onto the game we actually do play, which does exist, which we do already have characters for. At the Dragon's Palace, episode 4. This is y'all are at Summerhall now, or getting towards Summerhall, and there's a war table, like a war discussion about what's gonna happen. And I love this scene so much because Samuel's like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. What do you think, Faye? And you're like, I don't fucking care. Answer my question, dickhead.
Yes.
She just had enough that information about Fox Hollow because firstly, she'd said at the beginning, like, clue me in on everything. I will advise you, despite the fact I am not on board with the shit you're doing, I will advise you to try and minimize loss of life. And then he sends her out to talk to Casella. And when she comes back, she's like, what do you mean you had a meeting without me? And then finds out from her spies that he's besieged Fox Hollow, not even from him. And she couldn't bring it up with him until it had become common knowledge. And they've been on the march ever since. So there's that. The fact that he'd done it in the first place when strategically is a dumb as fuck move, but also because she knows Enzo's there. So it's like double knife and concern that she's on board with a train that isn't going to the place she thought it would be. Yeah, she was done at that point. She's like, I'm done being nice. Like, answer my question or fuck off. I don't care. I'm apparently at work again now without being at work. So I'm just not going to do the job anymore.
Malicious compliance. We've talked about that before. But yes, in this war council, a message does get received by the table that Karen and Fox Hollow are clashing. And there's some dodgy intel in there that Ironwood has joined the fray attacking Karen, I believe. I missed that bit, so that's just what I was told by
I
chat.
think it was something like that you're part of the fray.
Yeah.
So I thought, when I heard it, I thought that it was Ironwood has an altercation with the Karens. It was very vague, but the way I took it, and I could be remembering this wrong, it was as if the Ironwood forces were against the Karens. That's how I read it. I might be misremembering that. I might. It could be a purposely switched by someone to make, ooh, what's going on here with Ironwood and stuff. I don't know.
It's I would
I'm-
oh, go on,
Yeah, that would be more of like a clarification of what Sam said,
Tom.
because I can't remember. But that's what I got. I remember thinking that at the time, going, "Wait, what?" And then going, "Oh, okay, interesting, very interesting."
Well, he did that role, didn't he, to see whether this guy was being genuine or not. And there was a hint that there was some kind of ulterior motive or something going on.
Yes, but he was being truthful in what he was told. So what he was told from whoever told him, he believes is truthful. But you said it, he is holding something back, like whether or not he wanted to be knighted, or he wanted to serve, or it could have been something else. But yeah, there was definitely something being hidden back there. I think it was just like him wanting to be part of the Tarly thing. He just wanted, because he was a hedge
Really?
knight.
He seemed
Was
so
he a messenger
keen.
or was a hedge? I can't remember.
He was a hedge knight. Yeah, he was a hedge
He was
knight.
a hedge. So I think he just wanted to be hired by the Tarlys, basically.
He didn't seem super keen when Samuel was like, "Hey, join my camp, and we'll get you outfitted, get you a tent." And he was just kind of like, "Yes."
Hey, give him the welcome speech. Tell him how great it is here. Like,
no,
why?
I don't think I will. So
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
and I really like that, because this is Faye being like, "No, do you know what? Fuck you. I've had enough. I'm not playing by your rules anymore. You're not gonna tell me shit. I'm not gonna fucking bark like a seal when you want me to. Like, go fuck yourself, Samuel."
Yeah. I think it's taken her a long time to get there.
Yeah.
She still does think the best of him that you can of somebody who's done the shit he does. But yeah, she's at the point now where I think she's growing some balls about standing up for herself and recognizing her own worth, which I don't think she's fully done before. She's realized like how crucial she was to Leo, and now how crucial she is here, like regardless of all the spy stuff going on, like they need somebody to guide them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, it was a great scene, and I like, I feel like there was an unspoken, like, that Faye has a lot more power here than she thinks she does. The fact that she could do that, and she was comfortable enough to do that without immediate fear of being like fucking killed because you're no longer useful. You know, she knows that she can get away with a lot of bullshit because Sam will still soft on her, and Mara will let her do it because it's what Samuel wants. And Mara is, you know, if anything, a sucker for whatever Samuel wants, Samuel gets.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I took from this, is that Faye is in Samuel's head and she can get away with a lot. You know, she can manipulate, and because again, it's like when she said, "I want a word with Samuel alone," I think Mara was more thinking like, well, I don't want to seem like I don't trust him, because I do, or like overprotective. So yeah, go ahead. And that was like, okay, you've just opened the gates for Faye to get into, and he did, and she did. She's got into his head, like really in there, like got wallpaper up and everything. You know, it's
even
like
some comfy couches, got a couple of pictures of me up on the
corner,
wall.
you know, it's like,
it's great.
You know, and
that
it's
whole...
like, wow. I don't think the end of this army, the Tarly thing, is gonna be on the like, you know, like he's gonna cock up on the battlefield. I think it's gonna be something that Faye says and kind of twists his head. That's what's gonna be the end of this army.
Maybe.
I you know, I think it's just
Do
going to
you
be
know
something.
what?
It's just going to be like a little there, you know.
So I'm just going to give you this for free. Miria's goal is to do Blackfyre, make sure she's not going to get killed for being a traitor.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing. She's all fucking in now because she's a traitor. She's literally, she made an attempt on the Prince of Dawn's life. Like,
She's
they're
a
not just going to let her
traitor.
just live in a little cottage in the Red Mountains. They're going to be like, nah, she's going to go. Excuse me, 1 second. I got dust in my throat. Please fall for
Well,
time.
you know, it's like, you know, there is a very, very wonderful, you know, have you ever considered the life at sea? It's quite nice.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that is Faye's happiest ending. If somebody just like burns Golden Grove to the ground and she's got
it's
no reason to
possible.
be there, it's entirely possible.
You know,
she needs to not be there because she can't let it go. She's got 5 willpower. 5 willpower does not happen magically, and it doesn't not have consequences. She doesn't give up on people. She lives in the future, and she does not give up on people. And it's a bind as much as it is a power. But
So
all that. Sorry, go on. Carry on. Now that your son's dust.
Now that I am mostly without dust, but the tickle's still there. Miria's goal is to do Blackfyre and then fucking destroy Tali, but not on the battlefield because she knows she cannot win on the battlefield. She wants to destroy them politically. She wants to destroy them socially. So they have fucking nothing. They might have an army, but that's all they have.
Yeah.
And I think
they may not even have an army soon.
If she and Faye teamed up with that would be so easy to do. They would be dead. They would be gone.
I mean, there's nothing to say Faye hasn't already sent a few messages to people.
We know how much you do love sending messages.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? Miriam never gets letters, and when she does, it's always like, "Hey, this person you love is dead." So she would like to get one.
Faye will send you one, but it won't make any sense.
Yeah,
because you haven't had a visit from Enzo to give you the how to take a message from Faye 101, which he seems to be doing like a Westeros tour at the moment.
Yeah,
that whole episode was Faye testing the boundaries of what she's assumed about her position, because I think she's got a pretty good grasp on the fact that they don't want her dead. Because if they wanted her dead, if there was any possibility of that, it would have happened at the wedding.
Yeah.
And then Mara further confirmed that maybe it was a little deeper than that when she was asking favors of her. And there's been something about that tickling at Faye's brain for a very long time. But essentially, the fact that he's letting her in on the war meetings and he's trusting her with things. She's like, I'm safe, I think. Let's see how safe. I'm going to throw a shit fit in the middle of a meeting in front of a stranger and see what happens. Okay, that's what happens. Nothing. Cool. Step 2. So it's like a constant test of that boundary.
Yeah. Oh. it was a really juicy really, really juicy episode, and because it was so just focused on this one little unit group, you really got to feel for those relationships and how they've developed and how they haven't developed. And you really saw, like, in a lot of episodes, where Samuel is, there's Mara, and where Mara is, there's Samuel. But in this one, they were separated a whole lot, which I think is very interesting, because those characters have been so bound together for like the whole show that you don't ever see one without the other. But isolating them from one another is super compelling, because we get to see who they really are, you know, away from each other's influence.
I knew I wanted to do that tactically, partly just because of role bonuses and stuff, right? Like, even if you're not doing the roles, you're aware that affects things. But also, the second that Mara asks for a favor about Costain, I was like, okay, how would Faye do this? What bargaining chip has she now been given? And it's like, oh, it's twofold. It's, you get Costain out of Old Town eventually and back here, you tell Samuel to drive the start of a little wedge between them or just sow a little bit of distrust. But also, if Costain ends up here, I can be like, what the fuck did you do to piss off Lady Mara? She seems really cross with you. And you let them take each other out and then you fuck him up. It's fun to look at it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they lean on each other a lot, and it's interesting to see how they react when they're not in the presence of each other.
Yes. And I would think it'd be really interesting to see like Faye started to do, like drive that little wedge between them, you know, maybe try and make them, you know, like if they do turn on each other, or whether or not they will get closer for it. You know, because that kind of thing can either work extremely well in the schemer's way and drive that wedge and that unit crumbles, or it fortifies them. And I
but
don't
either way,
think...
she wins, right?
Yeah.
Like if it makes their marriage more solid, because that's the way Faye plays everything. Like each eventuality has to be accounted for. If they start crumbling, awesome. If they're more strong, she can be like, oh, I was just trying to strengthen your marriage. I'm really glad you worked it out. I don't think it's healthy for you to not be communicating. So either way, she fucking wins.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's so schemy. I fucking adore it. It's perfect. Like, we have a lot of like fighty people in this campaign, and you know, I think again, like the Miria thing, a lot of people just expect Miria to be like, oh, I see Tarleys, I kill Tarleys because I am woman of action with spear. I kill problem. But it's so good to see problems approached from a different perspective, a non-martial perspective, a non-immediate action Angie perspective, rather than a seething quiet Angie. Also a bunch of other emotions with a whole healthy dose of scheme.
It'll be interesting to see if she stays being quite so safe, I guess, once the plausible deniability kicks in. If it does, she's got to hold out on not getting caught for 3 months from the last house actions. And after that, none of her spy shit can be tracked back to her.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We'll
Cross
see.
your fingers for me.
We'll see.
But either way, like I'm kind of in a mood, like especially knowing that this is the final season, I want to see what happens. I don't necessarily want her to win, and especially after this episode, it would be kind of interesting if she got caught. I don't mind either way.
What will be, you know.
And
that's the thing. We can't prescribe how we want things to go. Right.
Because then we wouldn't be playing a game. We'd be basically just telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, a predetermined, like, well, we're going to do this, this, and this,
yeah.
and this. No, we are actually playing a game. The dice can screw us over or help us.
Oh, they have.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I know.
why it's got inside my head
Twice
so much.
one-shotted, Susie. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's got inside my head so much, because I'm having to do it like Faye, where every eventuality is accounted for and you have to win in either situation, or at least try and be able to spin it somehow.
Yeah.
So it takes up a lot of like housework brain space. I'll be like putting some socks in a drawer or something, be like, I need to write this down before I forget it.
Yeah. That's me in the shower. I'm like, do. Oh.
Justin, take this down.
I have legitimately come running out of the shower with like a towel half around me to be like, hang on. I have to write this down. But because this was a much shorter episode because of stupid daylight savings, we only had a couple of like 2 hours maximum to work with, which meant that our scenes in this episode were much more condensed. So the blockbuster scene, the scene of that episode was the Samuel and Faye conversation. Millie, holy shit, that fucking scene. Let me tell you, I was busting for a pee the whole time. right? And that scene was a long scene. And I was like, I can't go anywhere. I cannot leave. I physically cannot move off this chair. I have to watch this.
Yeah, that was a long time coming, because I'd wanted Faye to have that conversation with him. Like, she wanted to have it that first night that they met since I've been playing her, when they had the host outside Highgarden. She wanted to, and it kind of alluded to, I have other things to talk to you about, but there's never been the opportunity until now. So yeah, I might have done a little plotty plot and planned some stuff, but it went so much better and in a more interesting direction than I ever could have wanted. And it was kind of fascinating watching it, especially when it got to the questions to the game. Seeing how, because it would have been easy to not to use player knowledge, but to like just ask questions that they want an answer to. But there was a flow, there was like a conversation going on underneath the questions that's really interesting to kind of puzzle out. And a couple of his questions really, really upset Faye, and she would immediately hit back with something that she knew would hurt. But there was very much a theme of like love and who do you care about, and it wasn't even can I trust you in the end. It was just like, are the things I assume about you true? And it turns out a whole bunch of them weren't. I had no idea that he had feelings for her at all. No clue. It could not have been more interesting.
Oh, Tom. Okay.
Isn't that more of a square now?
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not. I don't know. I don't know Sam well enough. I don't think it would turn into that, because I think Samwell is pretty much under the spell of Mara completely. Who knows? It's a possibility.
We shall see.
Who knows?
I'm not sure. I think that was as much as, unless something drastic happens. I'm never saying never, for sure, certainly with Faye, but I think that was the only time she's taken the brakes off, and as far as she'd be willing to without something significant happening. Like I said, she's been telling herself that lie. Like, she's only ever lied to him once. She never lies normally. I think I don't care about this man is a lie she has told herself for a very long time to stop it hurting. And he just got her in the right moment with the right combination of questions and the right amount of emotion and hopelessness. And she just broke for a second and wanted something for herself for a change, just for a second. And then it's done.
And back up the thing.
Yeah. It was the same with Enzo, right? You hurt me, I'm gone.
Yeah. That was like, you could see the hurt right then and there. You could see that moment of desperation, that moment of pain where she just lets loose, and then boom, wall.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt.
Damn.
Oh,
it was a lemonade stand of juice.
Yeah,
and Don is such a great scene partner in that, because I think it would have been very easy to fill the space, fill the silence, or to keep it moving. And there was a lot of unspoken stuff going on. It would have been easy to get an answer, like, when she asked, you never loved me, and he made her drink, to explore that further, to push it or find out further information on any of these answers. And I think it was just as telling as the answers, which ones they didn't push on. And it was all the emotional stuff. When it was like, oh, Enzo's dead, which she genuinely believes at this point.
Look at that.
That was pushed into. They both wanted to find out more about that. But the second it was, oh shit, oh, feeling stuff. Ooh, no, danger. Yeah, it was. And I love that waiting. That,
when feelings get involved, Enzo's directly out of the picture. That was it. It was just.
Oh, does he not do feelings?
Oh, no, he does. It's just that evidently you don't to him. So, it's just.
When did she say that?
I'm gonna say, Tom, where were you during that conversation?
No, I meant when you said you were talking about Enzo, and then feelings started to come into it, and then Enzo went boop straight to the feeling kind of thing. It was a poor joke.
Too soon.
Shameful.
She still thinks he's dead. But yeah, I love that she didn't have to lie about that either, because she genuinely thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
So she answered the question without answering it. He's like, oh, would you run away with him? I can't drink to that because he's dead. He wasn't dead. You join the lines between those 2 points. And I thought it was very telling that Samuel even asked the question. Because at that point, I was like, no, Dom wouldn't matter. Dom wouldn't do that just for the juice. What the fuck is going on here? It was only, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I love that though, because the fact that he answered that question is very asked that question is very revealing that Faye's not the only one that's been looking at Samuel and going, oh, maybe what could have been. He's looked at her with her, I mean, there's no way that you missed Faye and Enzo at the wedding party, right?
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
And you have
then
to
heard that song.
Yeah, you have to be
at your wedding.
The slackest person on the planet to not realize that Sapphire and Gold is about Faye and Enzo.
Yep.
But I love the idea of that last confession, like eating away at him for the rest of the evening, and him getting like these little flashes like you do after you've been drunk. You're like, oh shit. But it's all like things she's done and said since they met back up at the ball. Like her reaction because if you watch her scenes with him back, like this has all been in my head from the beginning. When Mara asked her to sit on the high table for their wedding, and her reaction to that, and then the fact she fucking did it, and the fact she wore that incredible dress, and knowing now how she felt, it wasn't just to impress other people, it was so she didn't feel like crap. And the fact she's never been married, and the fact that it's just like one thing over another. The fact she chose to stay, it's all going to be ticking in his head. Like, was that just for what was that? What's happening? Oh fuck! Oh, she gave me a carved bed head for my wedding present. Oh, like all these little things. The fact she made that wedding happen because it was what he wanted.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that, just eating away all these horrible little realizations.
Yeah.
Oh
god! And this is a character that Millie just took up. Imagine what she'll do when she creates a whole new one. Be scared, people. Be very scared. Oh, whatever game we play, she'll create a new one.
But man, yeah, that whole conversation was just fantastic. And I mean, when you put two fucking actors in a room, like Sam said, just set you and Don off, and we'll just sit here and enjoy the fucking Jaffa cakes like V was doing during that whole scene. Like,
Jaffa cakes has to be the new popcorn. I wanted an excuse to get Jaffa cakes.
Oh man!
But I love that Don and I have very different, not different specialities, because Don's an actor as well. So, but he's very much got the maths brain, and he's like stats monkey. I could never in a million years beat him on the battlefield. I just don't have the mind for it, but I can fuck with his head. Like, and I love that juxtaposition in this system of physical might versus intellectual might, and how they both have their place in the game.
It's a very big theme in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
physical might versus intellectual might. Very big theme.
Such a shame that he's let basically a spy master within his ranks with full permission to pretty much do anything.
I mean, when you still love her.
Oops. Potentially. You didn't say that. Yeah, I know.
I mean, let's be real. When Alistair comes back, Samuel's gonna be like,
He's gonna be like 3 choices. He's gonna have 3.
He wants
gonna
them all.
have
Aw.
like
Mara,
that's the thing. He wants everything.
Alistair. He
Wants his
wants
cake
it
and to
all,
eat it.
doesn't he? Hey, he'll be in his
He wants
mind.
his
He's
cake
gonna
and
be
to
the
fuck
hero.
it too.
Don't fuck cakes. It
Don't.
ruins the cake. Enzo and Faye tried to fuck on a cake, but apparently that was not to be. Thank you, gods of the
We
dice.
tried.
Yeah. Maybe,
No.
maybe one day.
One day.
If they ever get married, they can fuck on their cake.
Oh, let me have a slice first.
Only if you back us up. Only if you help. Other wedding guests get the smushed bits.
Tell you what, give me a bit of cake. I'll guard the door and let you guys do whatever. Like, fuck off. They're busy.
Yeah, fuck
Doesn't
off.
even need to. Oh yes, can we hire Miria as a bodyguard?
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of edging to make up for.
Oh, I don't, poor fucking can't even get a kiss. Miria stood on the other side of the door when she's hearing you two fucking make up for like
Oh,
2
no.
years worth of edging, and she's like, well,
At least you got Ironwood.
she's got Ironwood and she's guarding a fucking door. I mean, she does guard the way, I suppose. Ugh. Ugh.
But no wood.
No wood.
Just
No
ironwood.
wood from Miria.
I'm 40
weird.
years old.
It's a
Oh,
weird thing
gosh.
to contend with though, because I did start playing Miria when she was 13. So it's sometimes
Yeah.
hard for me to reconcile that she's a fucking adult now.
Yeah.
And if she wants to
Mm.
bang someone, she can just
She
fuck
can.
them.
It is a bit weird. It took me a while to switch Miria from that 13-year-old to a woman. Now
Yeah.
she is a woman, so it does. Occasionally, I kind of like go, wait a minute. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
because Miria for a lot of the time in my eyes is still that very angry 13-year-old, but with a spear.
Yeah.
and stamina.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you haven't pushed that aside of her, because you end up with the sort of Arya thing that happened towards the end.
Oh,
where
that
you're
was
just
just-
like, oh, can you not?
Yeah, that
please?
was pointless.
Whereas
the
for
last
Miria,
thing-
any romance has felt quite organic.
Yeah, I mean, the absolute last thing I want for Miria is to her become like Arya in season 8, where she has no emotions, she just kill good, and that she bangs Gendry because that's what the fans
'cause.
wanted.
It
Mm.
really wasn't.
No,
That was a
it wasn't.
very uncomfortable
No,
scene.
it was awkward. It was.
It was really like, ooh, no.
Yeah. Lord Lyons, I know Harris is right there, but here's the thing. Both Miria and Harris are fucking awful at flirting, and also Miria is going through quite a lot right now. So maybe if she gets 10 minutes of downtime, she'll just like fucking snap and just be like, look, I need to feel a good emotion. Harris, come here.
I need to feel something.
Which is not healthy though.
No.
Really not, no.
Very
As
not
proven
healthy.
on the hill in current
Yeah.
episodes. Like, that's a lot of cards to give away. Sometimes it works in your favor, but probably best not.
But back away from Tangentville to Episode Town.
Boo.
I like it here.
I like Tangentville.
Tangentville is
Nice.
a good place. It's a comfy place. We like Tangentville.
Got a cafe. in
Spend
it.
a lot of time here.
Yeah,
Mm.
a good calf. Yeah. The episode ends with Samuel and Mara having a big chat. And as this is directly after Faye has been working her fucking brain voodoo magic on him.
Do you mean having a conversation?
Yeah, I do.
Having an honest conversation.
Having an
Magic.
honest
Yeah.
magic.
She's a witch! Burn her!
Men in the 16th century to a woman.
Yeah.
Witch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have this like heart-to-heart conversation where Samuel needs to be reassured that he's doing the right thing, and this is where we really see this is really schemy Mara territory, because she's very much pushing for him, being like, you are doing the right thing, this is don't let him get into your heads. This is what we're doing. This is the road we're on. Like, we're doing it. It's too fucking late to say no now. We're doing it. But she does convince him to not immediately attack at the parlay, because there's a rider that's like, go fucking parlay. We want to do a parlay. And he's like, I'm gonna go kill him. And Mara's like, whoa. let's not do that. Let's think about it for a second. Let's do the right thing here. But yeah, Samuel's harboring a bunch of these thoughts, and it's revealed that what we kind of knew all along, Samuel not hugely invested in Blackfyre as a concept, more as a vehicle for himself. Because he literally says in the episode, I don't care what purple-eyed monster sits on that throne. Like, he's not doing this for the love of Daemon II of Blackfyre. He's not doing this because he hates Daeron II Targaryen. He's doing this for his own reasons, his own power.
Which is why I cannot wait until Miriam and Harris meet up with them. And Harris basically says, this is my army now, because I am the regent of the Reach. So you will answer to me. And that is when we will see Samuel go, to see how far he wants to do it. I think he'll try and talk his way, thinking, well, I know these people, they know me. It's better for the overall war effort if I stay in charge while you get used to everything. I just hope Harris is strong enough just to go, no. And then it's just going to be, oh my God, you might get a chance to kill him then and there.
I know, but
I cannot wait. It's going to be so good.
I'm dreading it.
I can't wait for that moment.
It's dreading
it. It's going to be amazing.
I'm high key.
But that's the thing we've been saying, that technically the Tarleys aren't part of the Blackfyre force yet. They're not. I forget the name of the guy in charge of Blackfyre, not Bittersteel, the actual thing they want to put on the crown.
Oh, Daemon II.
Daemon. Technically, Daemon hasn't well, I should say it's Bittersteel, really, shouldn't we say? But they haven't okayed the Tarleys joining. There's been no communication whatsoever. Like we said, Samuel didn't go to Bittersteel and go, I would like to offer my plea. He basically just went, I've got an army now. We'll say we're doing it for Blackfyre, whether they want us or not. So who the hell's gonna? I mean, it just doesn't work like that. It's just incredible.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
Great.
It's like, all right, so imagining a world where Summerhall falls and burns. Aerion is killed.
Yeah,
because he's a dickhead, and the world is better for it. Maekar goes, oh shit, and runs up to Summerhall. He gets fucking smashed. The whole army takes on King's Landing. Daeron is fucking dunzo. His whole crew is dunzo. Daemon II is sat and he's like, okay, hello, my lords. I'm going to hand out prizes now for doing it. And he's like, all right, Harris, there you go. Take Highgarden. And Sam's like, what?
Yeah.
He what?
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past them to arrange a little accident for Harris on the battlefield.
Or kings being kings, and you know, the usual, they just go, oh well, Samuel actually did all the work, so there you go, Samuel, you have Highgarden. And then I'll have to be like, Harris, honey, no, Harris, no. Not
He's
yet.
gonna get angry. He's gonna get angry.
Come with me to Dawn. We're gonna have a good time.
That puppy might have
We will
teeth.
get them later. Well, yeah, I mean, that's it. We don't really know a whole lot of Harris's personality other than that he's fucking adorable.
I mean, I imagine Bittersteel's been promising him the Reach for pretty much since he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Because that's their claim to the Reach, right? He's their claim. That's the legitimacy of their campaign for the Reach, is Harris, I think.
Yeah, he's the one that they had always intent to put on Highgarden, because they've had him since he was like 13. Because he was busted out of Summerhall not too long after Miria was rescued. I'm
Yeah.
still saying rescued, even though it was a kidnapping.
It 100% was a kidnapping. But it goes all the way back to Blummin Blackmont. If he didn't do any of that, probably none of this would have happened, right?
Mhm.
And yet you still like the Blackmonts.
Look,
The guy was a complete and total twat. He was
Miria was an
awful.
extremely damaged child.
She was wrecked.
I
yeah.
cannot tell you how much she latched onto him because
Talk
she had
about
fucking
friggin-
nothing else.
Yeah. Good
Um,
God, yeah.
But yes, Sam raises a very good point that Harris's dad, Sir Quentin Ball, was one of the top generals of the first Blackfyre Rebellion.
Oh, that's
Very good friend
yes.
of Bittersteel's. So
Yes.
basically family. Also, you know, if tinfoil equals true, Miria is also the child of a Blackfyre general. Just putting that out there. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, it's
can't
gonna
wait.
be
You know
shit
what?
show. It's gonna be a
I have to
fucking shit
ask.
show is what it's gonna be. Yes.
I have to ask, Susie.
Yeah.
At the very end of all of this, do you actually want Sam to tell you, genuinely, if Miria was?
No. Because
I didn't think you would say yes. Because, yeah, go on.
Because at this point where we are in the story, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It doesn't.
Mm.
Because that die has already been cast. That move has been made. She's, you know, identity is, especially like with Arya in Game of Thrones, identity, who you are, where you come from, is such a huge theme throughout all of Game of Thrones.
Mm.
It's the whole fucking point of this conflict, you know? People claim that Daeron II isn't even a Targaryen, that he's a bastard, you know? Like this whole identity, this whole story it's such an interesting thing to develop, discover, and its identity is what you make it, is ultimately the answer to that story. Arya is a Stark, but she becomes someone else through her own, you know, her own power, who she makes herself. And that's the kind of like journey that Miria has been on, you know. So
I want to
don't
know.
want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know, Sam.
I
you
also
more
don't
than-
have that level of self-control. If I don't find out what the shit was going on with the Costain Faye's family, what that whole thing was by the end of this, I will want to know.
Yeah.
I can't go to my grave not knowing what the hell's going
working
on.
it, Millie. I'm working
Thank
on it. I got to
you.
deliver a boy off first, and then.
Having said that, I did give a very flowery answer, but also the nosy bitch in me wants to know so bad.
See, I'm worried now. I'm genuinely worried that if I find out the answer, you would, and everyone else find, and you're the only one, I have a feeling you'll want to know.
Oh yeah, like if I
And-
was the only one who didn't know, then I'd want to know.
So
because
I'm
that would
half
kill
tempted
me.
to say, "Don't tell me,"
Yeah.
just so you don't feel that way.
Yeah.
So
Sam knows
I
the
want-
answer.
yeah.
Don knows the answer, but those are the only two people that know.
yeah.
I have a feeling I know what the answer is. I like I'll say it outright. I don't think she actually even is the biological daughter of Oliver Ironwood. I don't.
Mhm.
But it's such a fucking juicy story.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to like explore. It's good. Yeah, that's Tom.
Yeah, I'm good.
What is
I
going
was
on
just
with
interested.
you?
I'm just interested to see, like, if you wanted to know the answer at the very, very end.
You'll only answer those questions in person? Sam, that's not fair. I live 3,500 miles away, you fuck.
Well, you know, Susie, you just gotta put in the effort, really. You know, it's just
I'll just
it's not
effort
Sam's
my way
fault.
across the ocean, shall I?
Yeah, well, you know.
Safer than planes.
Yeah,
If
it
you
actually
Right
is
now.
probably at the moment.
If you lot fucking find out. Like,
I
Oh
will not-
soon.
I-
Oh, okay. We need to put a rule in for New Year's that
Yeah.
we're not allowed to
I
have that
promise I will not,
conversation.
because I don't
Yeah.
drink, so I will be sober.
Uh-huh.
I promise I will not ask or any. I will not find out for you, Susie. I will not find
Thank
out
you,
the
Tom.
answer.
I
will not.
appreciate you.
In solidarity, no matter how much I want to know.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I think I have run out of things to say. Oh, this week. What do we what do we
Was
think?
Boom Boom on fire this week?
So Here's a little bit of insider knowledge. The other day, I was receiving messages from both Sam and Don on the other side of this conflict being like, and I was just sat there in the middle like, okay, yep.
It's good.
Yep.
It's good.
Okay.
It's nice.
Hang on.
Oh man, it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be very, very messy because we know that Aerion, the Bright Prince, is there because Sam revealed it at the end of last week. The episode this week's title was it The Butcher and the Bright Prince? I think he gone for the
Ooh, maybe,
title.
yeah.
That'd
be good. That's a good title.
It's a good title.
That's a good title.
And we all know that Aerion Targaryen is a famously well-adjusted individual with no sort
Nothing
of
wrong with
horrific impulses or anything like that. I mean, he didn't,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
break a poor
Don't give him a
puppeteer's
goblet
fingers.
to drink before the fight.
Aye.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've got this feeling we're gonna see Sam in full force. I've just got this feeling he's gonna go right, gloves are fucking off now. Let's go. And just boom.
Aerion at this point will be about 16, 17 years old. He was a little bit
Old
younger
enough.
than Miria
Old enough
when
to,
she was at Summerhall.
I hate that he has a rhyming name.
Yeah.
So
he's
wanky.
Such a piece of shit.
He's the fucking
He's
worst.
the
Can we just for a
worst.
minute?
He's
Can we just
worse
for a
than
minute?
Maekar. He's worse than all of them.
He was so
He-
bad, his own dad sent him to Lys to be like, get the fuck out of Westeros for a bit
He
because
is
you are a
that
shitbag.
fucking- Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
this
the
week's going to
worst.
be. Oh, Sam says that he has plans
wanna
in
miss
capital
it. Oh
letters
my
and that we don't want to
God.
miss this week.
Susie, just for a second, do me a
Yeah.
favor. Check the message I just sent you on Discord.
Okay, let me have a look.
Ooh, secret messages that I'm not privy to. I'm feeling a little left out here, if I'm honest.
Good. You don't need to know. Oof. Okay. All right. So yes,
Wow.
friends, this week coming up, it is going to be the attack on Summerhall. You do not want to miss this episode. It's going to be juicy, juicy. Do you know what? If no matter which way this battle goes, it's going to be good. So, Maekar, Summerhall burnt to the ground. Done the world a service. Got rid of Aerion Targaryen. Done the world a huge service. Should get a medal for that. As much as I dislike Samwell, gonna give him a pat on the back for that one.
Yeah, I think everyone will.
Get rid of Daeron, the drunkard. Get rid of fucking baby Aemon. Well, he'll be about 5 now. Get rid of him. Joy, all she did was cry. She's probably still crying now. She's a
Probably,
Malister.
yeah.
Who cares about Malices? Lyra, she's a Crane, which means she's a Targaryen. She can go. Also, she tried to fucking steal Harris from me when I was at Summerhall. I've still not forgotten that. Lyra, you little bitch. And then Weirdland's there, who is the demon baby. So control
Demon
the demon
baby.
baby. And then if they lose, that is Samwell diminished in strength, which gives me ample opportunity to be like, hi, Samwell. Bye, Samwell. So I ultimately...
It's a bit win-win, really, for Miria at this
Win-win.
present moment.
Ultimately not, though, because if all that army gets destroyed, then Blackfyre is pretty fucked. I'll have to fuck up back to Dawn and hope that we don't lose in Dawn, and then maybe live in Essos for the rest of my life until they hunt me and kill me.
Yeah.
Come and live on a ship. Do some sort of like cruise line setup.
Yeah,
Could be fun.
I might have to send an emergency Raven. Hello, Enzo. Do you remember Plan C? Yar, I'm in. Do you need a man at
Plan
arms
C.
for your ship?
I think
I'm here.
Plan R.
I could actually do. Miria would be really good at sea with sea combat. Really frigging good.
She can't swim.
I think
though.
she'd be a good sailor. Doesn't
You
matter.
can learn
we
to swim,
teach
and that would be a hilarious scene.
We'll just put rings on you as you're fighting, so you know if you fall
A
in.
little ring,
Yeah.
inflatable armor.
Her shield acts as a fucking floaty in it.
Oh, it's one of those ones in the shape of a horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need fan art of that.
That'd be great.
Miria's swimming lessons.
But she looks really angry with the angry little eyebrows. She's like,
Yeah.
Keeps trying to punch the water.
Why won't
Oh
it
my
bend to my
God.
will? No, she did almost drown to death once. That was not
She
nice.
did. And that was the first time we realized swim was a stat.
Yep,
And
sure
we all
was.
panicked.
Like, oh,
We
fuck.
all went, Sam went, do you have any in swim? And we went, no, it means you can't swim. Jesus.
I had to burn a
Amazing.
destiny point there not to
It
die.
was terrifying. And I think we all just kind of went, maybe we should
Just
swim.
Yeah, just-
swim.
Just one.
It was terrifying.
Oh boy. But yeah, so I think we should probably do a wrap up because otherwise we'll be here for another hour, and it's already 10:30 where you are, and we have been live for 3.5 hours almost.
Yeah.
Which
think
is
we
always
did
the
well.
case. I think so.
We did well considering.
I really do.
We've gone through a lot of episodes.
4
It's
episodes.
4 episodes, yeah. And we
A
didn't even
lot.
dig into the house actions that we did, Millie, where it got
Yeah.
super fucking juicy. And we
Yeah.
weren't even playing.
I think I've wrapped my head around that a bit better now.
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to the next bout of those.
It's a Saturday,
If,
isn't it?
if only because
Yeah.
that means I'm 1 month down, question mark.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So
So
I
2 more.
think
And
every
I'm
time,
fine.
every time we do a house action is a month passes. I believe that's
Mhm.
the way that Sam is doing
Yeah.
it. So obviously what happens Thursday will happen, and then the aftermath of everything will happen.
Yeah.
Will go into the Saturday
Mm-hmm.
where they do the house actions and stuff.
I take it back. I want Summerhall to burn. Because if not, Maekar will get a Raven to be like, yeah, Dad, everything's fine. And he's going to go, okay, son. All right. And I'm going to keep going to Ironwood.
Good on you, son. As he just trots down.
I want
um,
Anki Bakey to
Did you
pop
leave
by
any
for a cup of
forces
tea.
at Ironwood?
Yeah, the Guardians are there and the Vultures are there.
So you got 200 men.
Mm-hmm. But
In a castle, though. You can
in
you
a
can
castle,
hold
so the
back.
Guardians will hold the castle. Vultures will do guerrilla shit like ping ping and then duck and run.
Yeah, you can really hold back an army. The castle is ridiculously good,
Mhm.
unless they literally build up siege weapons to smash down walls. I don't actually know. Yeah, they have catapults and stuff in this,
Mhm.
don't they? And battering rams and stuff. Unless they want to push it, which Maekar might be like if they've only got like 200 unit and 100 holding the castle. He might just send Zach Brannigan method of just wave after wave of, because armies like, I don't know how big the armies are. I don't know how big Maekar are. Are we talking thousands or are we talking
We don't
hundreds?
have like units don't have set sizes.
No,
so
they
I
don't, do
don't
they?
know. Like I don't know. Like my unit
guess-
of vultures, I don't fucking know how big that
Yeah.
is, how many men that is. You know?
I guess we'll just
Um,
it'll be just like flavor text, right? It'll just be like there's X amount here.
Yeah.
and
Because I mean the
you know.
numbers don't like the numbers you roll don't change.
Units are 100 men,
100 men, okay.
right? So we gotta ask. We need spies to see like how many
many spies
units
to a
Maekar
cell?
has.
1,000 spies.
1,000.
All right. No,
The
I said we
entire
were
Charlie
wrapping up.
army
We're
is just
already
my
going in another
spies.
tangent.
We're doing it. No, back away from Tangentville. This is the wrap up time. So, hello, folks in chat that have joined us for the very first time today. This must have sounded very confusing with a lot of stuff and words and terminology thrown around. You may have
Yeah.
recognized some names that we used. We are playing a Game of Thrones campaign, which is set about 100 years before the events of the book A Game of Thrones, after the first Blackfyre Rebellion, starting the second Blackfyre Rebellion. This is after the Dance of Dragons, so we're kind of behind, in between the two upcoming, like the two TV shows. Dance of Dragons is coming, and then Game of Thrones happened, and we're in the middle. We broadcast our show every Thursday on twitch.tv/follow Black Cats right here. And then we put our episodes up every Monday on the our YouTube, which is Black Cats Gaming on YouTube. We should have a link right here if I did it right. Nope, if I can spell. Also, this Saturday, we will be doing our house actions because of the game system. You control a house too. So a bunch of us are lords and ladies of houses, various houses. We will be doing our house actions this Saturday too, which will also be streamed right here. You can watch, I think, did I set this up? Let's have a look. That is not a command, is it? All right. I was going to say, if you are brand new and you want to start from the very beginning, we do have playlists set up. So you want Season 1, Episode 1, The Dornishman's Wife, which is a great kick-off to the whole thing. But before we go, let's do a little round of who we are that you've seen today, who we play, and what we do. So, Millie, who are you? Who do you play? What do you do?
I'm Amelia Tyler. I am a voice actor for video games. You might have heard me. Probably won't know it's me. And I play Lady Faye Rowan, who is very lovely and definitely not a spy master now. And she's never had feelings for anyone ever. Honest.
You know, at the end of this, whoever's the regent of the Reach, you might need a new position there. Just saying.
She would be a
I'm
very
sure
good
Enzo
Lord of
has some in
Whispers.
mind.
Amelia,
But
Tyler,
yes,
everyone.
That could be fun.
All right. Hey, Tom. Hi. Who are you? What'd you do? What'd you play?
I'm Tom, or Hot Flakes Tom, and I play Enzo Sal, who is not a lord, who is just a very famous pretty pirate, who's just trying to get through this war alive. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Trying to survive the war, really. That's it.
He's good at running.
He's very good
at running.
Watch out
very
for
good
his
at
Nike ads
surviving,
coming soon.
which is ironic because survival was my dump stat.
Love it.
I think mine was, and then I was in the mountains.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, actually, I remember it because when we had our secret Vulture's Roost session in which Oliver did proclaim that Miria was his daughter, I'm just going to say that forever because it did happen. On the ride back, we took shifts riding the horses, and Miria's survival skill was so badly that it set us back by at least a day's travel because we went in circles. So there you go. Okay, as for me, hello, I am Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, and I play Lady Miria Sand of Ironwood, who has had several names over the course of the campaign. She started out as Miria Greenmont, then she was Casella Sand, now she's just Lady Miria Sand, of Ironwood, the Blood Royal, Guardian of the Boneway. And I'm a streamer and stuff, and an artist sometimes. So yeah, you can catch me on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace, every day of the week, basically, Monday to Friday. Or when I'm not there, I am here. So I will be here tomorrow for Spy Game, Hexcrawl, which is our spy game actual play, in which we play the game that we made with Black Cats Gaming, because Black Cats Gaming, beyond being the home of After the Fyre, is an independent publisher, and we made the Spy Game, which is a 5e powered game of international espionage and action. It is juicy, it is fun, it has the greatest pant leg to ever exist on page 230. I can't show it to you because the light won't work, but rest assured, the best trouser leg that has ever existed in this book. Get it for that alone. We'll be playing that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. GMT. Other than that, we'll be right back here for After the Fyre on Thursday at that very time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. Watch the episode that you do not want to miss, is the attack on Summer Hall. So, bring the popcorn, bring the Jaffa cakes, bring some marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers, because we're going to be making s'mores over the body of dead Targaryens. All right, everybody.
Wow.
We'll catch you later. We'll see you soon. Take care.